This podcast is brought to you by the Podtower, hosted by the Watchtower database. Visit youtube.com/thepodtower for informative, hilarious DC animation-themed podcasts and live streams every week. And check out the Watchtower database for DCAU video essays, timelines, fan theories, and more. And please, enjoy the show.
And now sing my shirt again. So this side.
Boop.
and this side.
Oh no.
Thank you.
You're welcome. That's what Brian's shirt says. Yep. It's just written out phonetically like that. Bop boo da boo beep boo boo bob.
Also, what is this font? I feel like I know this font.
Yeah, it's some kind. It looks like a old what? Oh
It's
my god, what's her
it's
name?
kind of like hippie retro-ish.
It looks like a Mary Poppins poster from the 40s or something. When did that movie come out? Probably not that long ago. 60 something.
85?
1 moment, please.
When did Mary Poppins come out? Mary Poppins
gay?
movie.
It is June.
Is she gay? Is Mary Poppins gay? That's what we're talking about today. 1964.
So when I said
is Mary Poppins gay? Disney has not represented any of its classic characters as openly queer, including Mary Poppins. Why, that's very specific.
that sounds like an AI-generated result.
I see now that it is.
I'm going to be the only one to survive the uprising.
No, I just didn't look hard enough. Why does it automatically put the AI
now.
thing at the top?
It's defaulting,
at the top?
and you gotta.
That's stupid.
Is Mary Poppins gay?
1 moment, please.
Yeah, see, mine is a little bit different. So my first thing is a Reddit post, and then a bunch of people ask on the web, and then 3 YouTube videos, and then eerie gay news. PL Travelers, a spoonful of speculation.
Eerie gay news. Eerie gay news.
Eerie gay news.
That's been their theme song the whole time. We just had no idea.
Holy shit. What a life we're living. Hello, listener.
Yes or no? Is it yes or no? Is she gay?
This is it's an article, man.
Doesn't she and the dad, this is good sentence structure, doesn't she and the dad fall in love?
What does wet newspaper smell like?
What does wet newspaper smell or taste like? Brian, is the phrase.
Yeah. I'm sorry I didn't remember that joke from 2016.
What are you doing?
Putting away this SD card that I forgot from the gig the other day when I was photographing a goat.
Okay, well, we should do the rest of the podcast like this.
Okay. P.L. Travers, author of Mary Poppins, born
I'm not doing
Helen Leidendorf.
Is Mary Poppins gay? Tune in next week on Apokolips Now Part 2 to find out.
Pamela. Oh, you can cut pretty much all of this out, but
who plays Mary Poppins?
1 moment, please.
Okay, the author of Mary Poppins
Julie
is bi.
Andrews. Oh, okay. We're getting closer.
Holy fucking shit. That's cool.
Is Julie Andrews gay?
1 moment, please.
Is Julie Andrews still alive? No, I know that. Gay.
Objectively.
Julie Andrews, one of the last living true gay icons. That doesn't count. Come on, queer lion.
I know.
You're a queer lion to me. Welcome back to the podcast that we do. This is what it is.
Look. It is June, and all you people who, by the way, since this is, yes.
Continue.
B-I, the way. The way. And then there's a whole book about it and why it's good.
This is the way. Yes.
To the people who have in the past, and I'm sure are no longer listening, said, keep your politics out of my podcast.
Yes.
Fuck you. It's our podcast. And we're going to do what the hell we want with it. And the listeners who are cool enough to roll along with our punches and listen to me be an asshole and still.
That's you currently listening.
Yeah. Thanks.
Good
Thanks
job,
for making it
you.
this far. Thanks for making it to the end of the
episode
podcast.
126.
Whoa. Do you want to
jump on the Bat-Wagon?
Do you want to do the thing?
What's the thing?
Hi, I'm James.
Oh, yeah. Keep going.
No, we've done this before, and I still can't remember
From the
all
Watchtower
of it.
Database YouTube channel. And I'm here to show my good buddy Brian.
And I'm Brian.
And you're Brian, the entire DC animated universe from start to finish.
In the controversial Airdate order?
Yeah. So he may view these shows the way human beings experienced them in the far gone days of the 1900s.
Right.
At the time of this recording,
6:51 p.m.
6:51 p.m. Stas is streaming on Max.
My dog.
And available on DVD and Blu-ray.
Batman's usefulness.
I forgot what this button was. That's what that button is, I guess. That's the Dr. Derp Batman's Usefulness song. I'll play Ryan Hips just to follow it up.
It's Batman's usefulness, baby, boo. There you go.
Yeah, we haven't ever used those except that one time.
Shit.
Anyway,
we're bad at that. We should use them in today's STAS video.
I'll play them at the same time. It'll be really good.
Sick.
If you'd like to follow along, you can head over to bit.ly, Brian's other dog/watch DCAU. Links in the show notes. Okay, today we're watching STAS Apokolips Now Part 2.
No expectations on this one, James.
No, nobody knows what's going to happen. Your prediction last time was that Darkseid was going to be driven away or banished in some form and that Orion was going to die.
Yeah, that's the big one
And
I'm
you
leaning
were very
into.
confident about both of those things.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Also, Lobo's going to show up at the end of the episode and like find some honey or something.
I'm here to fuck Darkseid, and I'm all out of bubblegum, he says. What? What are you talking about?
He's got a little too ahead of himself.
Yeah, he's really excited to fuck Darkseid.
I'm here to chew Darkseid and fuck Darkseid.
Fuck
Whoops.
bubblegum. And I'm all out of Darkseid. Shit. This first aired Saturday, February 14th, 1998.
Valentine's
at 10
Day.
a.m. Oh my goodness, you're right.
This is a day for love between Lobo and Darkseid.
Yeah. And Mary Poppins.
It's going to be so gay.
1 week after last episode, Apokolips Now Part 1.
Well, this is exactly 1 week after I watched the episode last week.
I know.
How many people nowadays have waited a week between... I'm not going to let you finish.
I doubt it. I doubt anybody.
I did.
That. Yeah.
Take that.
Well, because you're good at your job.
Oh, you think I'm good at this?
Except for you're not wearing an orange shirt today.
No!
I'm wearing an orange shirt, and Joe is also wearing the same orange shirt. We're wearing the same orange shirts as we were the day Joe was on the podcast 2-3 podcast episodes ago. And Brian was mad.
Yep. Very mad.
This aired number 39 and produced number 35 between Heavy Metal and Warrior Queen. I don't know why Apokolips Now got jumbled up between other episodes, but
why not?
Did. And it's all the same credits as last time. Story, Bruce Timm. Writer, Rich Fogel. Director, Dan Hariba. Music, Christopher Carter. Animation, Coco Dong Yang.
Wow.
If you'd like to buy us a coffee, you can head over to the link in the description, send us a Yoppie beverage, and support the show. We'll also give you a shout out in an upcoming episode. I forgot to open the tab that has the thing, so I'm going to go there now. All I have is Julie Andrew, true gay icon. That's not who sent us coffee today. We'll do a push-up for every $1. Send us coffee for our health and your entertainment. Today's Yoppie Bevs come to us from
Justin.
Basil Leaf. Well, thank you, Justin, first of all. Yes, as we always
The
say
OG.
every time, and we never forget.
We're not going to forget
Basil
that.
Leaf bought
Basil
3
Leaf.
Yoppie Bevs.
Ooh, okay. So who's Basil Leaf and where are they
don't
coming
know.
from? The garden.
I stopped watching for a while, but I'm back now. Yay! Thank you for being enjoyable background noise when I'm drawing and or gaming. You're welcome.
What are you drawing? What are you gaming?
Draw us. What are you selling? What are you buying? Okay,
3?
so we have to do 15.
Are we doing the headphones on today?
Yeah, let's try it.
Okay. Let's have a conversation, Jamie.
Okay.
Okay.
How did you... How was your day today?
I had 1 good day.
2.
I
had 3 good days in 1. It was that good. 4. 5.
3. I don't know. 4, 5, 6, 7.
Oh shit! It's more than 5, isn't
10, 11, 12,
6,
13,
7,
14,
8,
15
9,
is the day of the month on which I was born.
11, 12, 13, 14, the day of the month of this episode aired. I forgot it wasn't 5 because it's usually 5, and I went and sat back down, and I was like, how did I beat Brian? And then I realized I didn't because there were more.
You like went to sit down, I'm like 8, and you're like, oh!
Whoopsie, I'm suddenly much closer to Brian's ears than I was a second ago. I like to be in there. I like to get in real close and whisper sweet nothings.
I love it.
Like, let's go watch Apokolips Now, Part 2.
That's the worst kind of ASMR, but yeah, let's do it.
It really was because I was also like heavily breathing outward as I said because I'm very out of shape.
Is there an out of breath ASMR?
I'm sure there is. If not, let's start it.
Okay.
Oh my God.
We'll call it Jump on the ASMR Wagon.
Okay, so you're a good boy. You're looking real nice today.
What kind of ASMR are you listening to?
I don't fucking know. Not this one. Nobody's listening to this one.
All right, let's go watch a thing.
Okay.
You're a magnificent opponent, Superman. But even you must realize it's hopeless. Dark side. I could easily destroy you now. And once you're gone, the pathetic beings of this planet won't have the will to resist me. The few who survive, that is. However, if you join me as my loyal vassal, I could guarantee a modicum of restraint. Think of it, Superman. The power you have now, it's nothing compared with what I'm offering you.
You know I can't do that.
Pity. Still, if you won't be my knight, you will be my pawn.
Citizens are warned to stay away from Metropolis Plaza, where police are still trying to contain the situation.
Gotta get down there.
The president has
Whoa,
declared a state
cowgirl,
of
what are you gonna
national
do? Hold a gun in one hand and your IV in the other?
Land and sea forces have been mobilized and are en route to Metropolis.
Dan.
Brian, you are going to make me talk so quickly after watching that. I'm not in a talky way yet. You gotta talk.
Okay.
You talk. What happens? What happened in this episode? Fuck, hang on. What a quaint little song to play.
Synop, what you just watched. Synop. Take a listen to the synopsis. The shortened summary, which is sometimes kind of long.
Ass.
Okay.
Okay. You said you were going to make people sad?
I think what I meant to say was angry. Okay. So the episode starts off with a recap of the last episode that we watched.
Let me describe the entire last episode.
This is another one of those episodes that, like, dare I say, not a lot happened.
It was kind of somehow like 4 total things in the span of an episode. Yeah.
We had
a lot of it was just fighting around the world.
Yeah. So, okay, my first question is, was there like a drill that was drilling to the center of the earth? Like, what?
No,
was
it was. So there was the nuclear explosion at the end of last episode, but apparently, whatever 3-pronged machine thing that he hooked up, that Mannheim hooked up to the thing, made the explosion go down more than up or something. I don't quite know. There's some apocalyptic thingy-mabob that's part of this.
Okay.
I guess.
All right. So there's a thing threatening to melt its way to the center of the planet, which, if that happens, volcanoes are going to happen all over, and the Earth is going to...
Too much volcano.
The Earth is going to it's going to die. It's going to do a big death.
Everyone look up Too Much Volcano. It's a song on whatever you listen to songs on. That's all I'll say. Just listen to that. No more information.
But,
We've seen too much volcano before on Apokolips.
Superman tries to call. Wow, I've already forgotten his name.
Orion.
Jesus.
Yeah.
Brian.
It's like Orion O'Hip, you know?
Yeah.
The Scottish version of
I know Orion O'Hip. Yeah, he's really Scottish and he's very like even keeled and talks slowly.
Yes. He does all of his recordings indoors with zero cars.
And no Weird Al references.
No.
So Superman tries
Normal
to call
Al.
Orion to help out, but his what? Did you just press a whoosh button?
No.
Did
you make a whoosh?
I'm seriously concerned. What just a like deleting sound when you like delete something, Macs give like a whoosh sound. Mm-hmm. And I just had that in my headphones. I wasn't touching the computer. Like, what the fuck happened? Did something I care about just get thrown into the recycling
it's like
bin here?
your TV trying to play this episode at the start of this where
Cursed.
It would restart it like 4 times.
Oh, God.
Okay, we're Zany. We're back. We're in Zany mode. Zany podcast.
Everything's fine.
Brian's computer deleted itself, so he had to buy a new one. He went to the store. He bought a new computer.
Totally.
And I cut it all out.
I'm really hoping that's not what's going on here because I can't afford a new one.
Can you continue the thing you were saying?
Yeah.
Orion's disc pog breaks.
Yeah, thank you. So his Superman's little garage door opener that calls Orion fried and like the EMP, and he's like, guess we got to do this without him. And then we cut to, I think, Darkseid and Hunch in the Back guy.
Hunch in the Back. Oh, Calabac.
What's his son? Calabac.
He does have back in his name, I suppose.
Yeah.
It is me, Darkseid, your son, Hunch in the Back. Please let me kill Superman. No, Hunch in the Back.
Yeah.
You fucked up last time. I won't let you fuck up again.
And so Darkseid calls upon Steppenwolf.
Yes.
And everybody in the know made a Born to be Wild
Born to be
joke?
Wild reference.
Yeah.
Well, you may recall Steppenwolf as the villain from the live action Justice League movie, but he had big horns and was covered in spiky metal and had a big axe and all this stuff. You saw this movie. You watched it.
Oh, okay.
The 4-hour Zack Snyder movie.
Yeah.
But he looked very different here. He's like an Aladdin character in this.
He's like, he looks like I was getting like Robin Hood vibes from him.
Yeah.
So Darkseid is like, no, Calabac, you're not strong enough. You got. I'm calling on someone who's better than you.
Mm-hmm. Robin Hood.
And all we see Robin Hood get done is that he gets beat up.
Yeah, he comes through the portal and goes, attack, like 5 times, and then he gets punched into the ocean. I didn't notice until this viewing that we never see him after that moment. He just gets punched into the ocean, and then that's the end of him, I guess.
Well, it's like he gets punched in the ocean, he gets shot in the hand, is like, ow!
Oh, yeah.
He
it's
doesn't
like the first
do
thing that happens.
anything.
Yeah.
The only thing he does is he apparently encourages the like 10,000 clone bitey neck dudes.
The Clayface bugs, yeah. They bite his neck quite a bit. They
really bite his neck a lot. This is a neck bite heavy episode.
Vampire Clayfaces.
But like not in a sexy way. They're kind of like,
they're kind of like not the opposite of sexy, actually. Yeah.
Unsexy.
Yes.
Calabac has done way more damage to Superman than he has.
Yeah.
Than Steppenwolf managed to do. He's like, I'm born to be wild. Ow, my hand.
Ow, my hand immediately. Yeah.
Somebody do something else.
Not
like,
my
I'm out of
precious
ideas.
sword. Yeah. Go. I also like, we're talking.
Yeah, he just dropped his sword. Where did it land?
Yeah, well, then he has it again later. But I like how he's like, now to the kill. And all that came to mind was Princess Bride, like, no, to the pain, because they don't kill anybody. They just suddenly swarm the streets and everyone's screaming, but they're not doing anything. I assume that has to do with like kid programming, whatever. But like,
I don't know, but somebody definitely watched Princess Bride before this.
Yeah. No, to the pain. Let
honestly,
them bite my neck as much as you want. But
like, let's make a quick comparison here about
Robin Hood, Men in Tights. It's all coming together.
No, I was going to say The Princess Bride because what is the main character's name?
Carrie Elwes.
No, like the character name.
Yeah, I don't know.
Stable Boy. We'll just call him Stable Boy. What the fuck is his character's name? Is it like Leslie or some other...
Wesley, I think.
Wesley!
Right?
Thank you.
Wesley Willis.
It was
Cut the mullet, he says. To the
Superman kicked my ass.
I sure did.
Anyway, so there's a comparison of that, like when he's being
Laser
tortured.
your sword out of your fucking hand.
And he says,
drop your fucking sword in the ocean. Superman kicked my ass.
Wow, this is a hot take for TikTok. Anyway, so you go back to the Princess Bride combination, and you have Wesley, and he's all like disheveled, held up on this like whole thing, just like Superman, all disheveled, held up on like the
he's being stretched
slug thing. Yeah, you know,
The
he's getting years
sweeper.
taken away from his life, and he put chocolate in his mouth, and it whatever. He's his true love,
Yeah,
etc. Okay, so anyway, that's all just to say that Steppenwolf is fucking useless.
Superman is immune to iocane powder. It's on his powers, anti-weaknesses.
Superman never goes toe to toe with the Sicilian.
When death is on the line. I'm so sorry to anyone who has not seen. Go watch the Princess Bride.
Go stop listening to this because we're going to keep going Princess Bride heavy for the rest of the episode. Anyway, to finish this up. Darkseid comes in on a big metal slug and is just like, I'm going to mess you all up.
Oh, is that
and then Orion,
the low perspective, it does have like big slug eyes.
Oh, yeah. And then also, like, what does he have to do with wheels? Everything he owns fucking floats.
Yeah,
and he's just like,
tank.
No, I got a tank with wheels. Yeah, we're going to crush your cars.
Street the sweeps.
And so he comes in at a big metal slug and he's like, your world is mine. And then Orion comes through at the last minute and is like, nope. If you fight, then everybody in the galaxy is going to be against you. And he's like, well, I guess I'm not Darkseid. This is, well, I guess I'm not going to fight except for Dick Turpin. And he Turnip. Sorry, my bad. And then he zaps him and then Dick is dead. And, there's a funeral. And then there's an homage to Jack Kirby, who I'm guessing died previous to this. And that's the end of the episode. And I missed some things. Do you want to fill in? Not much,
though. You missed not anything. Oh, Superman dreidled the fuck out of the water, and you were really mad about it.
Oh, that's right. So the whole thing burning its way to the middle of the Earth, rather than just cutting a fucking channel in the fucking volcano
through it
that's
horizontally.
He does 8 minutes of Tasmanian deviling his way
it was
through
a very long sequence.
But like the thing, he's like spinning his way into an underground cave to let the water in, but there's nothing burning there.
Yeah, there's nothing there.
And we just see 18 minutes of Superman spinning, and then water's just coming in from the ocean, and he could have just made it. I gotta close the window.
This is what you were saying to make people mad about.
A channel in the volcano and like put the thing out at all. I didn't. I'm just so fucking baffled at we had to. No. The reason I'm saying that everyone's gonna hate me because Jamie, this is a bad episode. This is a terrible fucking episode.
Hot take.
This is one of the worst episodes I have seen. There's little bit. There's a little bit of there's a war. It's mostly a war. We got the cops shooting lasers at these 1,000 clones, and there's like some kind of It's supposed to be like you're supposed to be on the edge of your seat because there's this big battle going on, but we just see like
tension.
3 cops shooting at 3 of these bad guys, and then Dick Turpin's like, I'm gonna start calling him Dan now that he's dead.
Now you must put respect on his name. Daniel
and
Turpin.
He's taken out all of them. He's got a bazooka and he's like punching these things in the face. And he's like, but like, there's not like a war. The only scale we see is like a bunch of pedestrians across the road without faces. And they're all there. And like Dan Turpin is like, I'm gonna lead this army. And you like free Superman from the big slug with a fucking spear
thing. Yeah.
And it's just what
Okay,
what is this episode?
Let me tell you the official synopsis, and we'll come back to it. Okay.
Okay.
I can tell you're upset. Now just hang on a second. Would you calm down, Brian? Brian, stop!
What?
Your computer. You're going to destroy your computer. He's picked up his computer. He's going to throw it. Steppenwolf, the band that sings "Born to Be Wild," a hunter from Apokolips, joins Darkseid in his battle to take over Earth, which results in a crushing blow to Metropolis and Superman, the death of a friend. What a non-spoilery synopsis of the episode.
That's a pretty big deal.
So Orion didn't die.
I'm so upset at that. He was barely in the episode. He literally just comes in at the very end and says, "Hey, don't." And then Darkseid goes, okay. And you go, "Oh, but this guy." Which, by the way, that's an attack after he was warned not to attack, but they just let him get away with it. They just watch him. All the space guys are like, it's just one guy.
What are we going to do? We don't know that guy.
Fucking hell.
It's just one guy.
Okay, Jamie, so I'm upset.
Yeah. Okay, so a
part
couple
one,
thoughts.
Better than part two by a long shot.
Oh, you think so?
Oh, my God.
Even though we had the it's just part one, like the big stuff happens in part two or whatever.
What was important in this episode?
It's just a lot of fighting. Yeah, you have a good point. So what I think has happened here is that it's hard. Like when we get to Justice League, and I'm going to be as teeny, like least amount of spoilers as possible. Okay. Nothing to do with Darkseid. Nothing to do, whatever. I'm not going to tell you things, but the overall we have several main superhero characters instead of just Batman or just Superman or whatever. Yeah. And there's many behind the scenes interview discussions, whatever, about with Bruce Timm and co about how when we started Justice League, this is the first time we had to make sure 7 different people had something important to do all at once or whatever. Okay. And that was really difficult for them for a few episodes. And it was a challenging storyboarding thing. And how do we know where everyone's at all the time? And what are they doing? And why are they important to be here? And
I could totally see that.
And I feel like this episode, I think I said last time that I don't mentally consider this episode as big of a deal as a lot of people do, because it doesn't get me to that point other than the murdering of Dan. Is there's not any sort of stake we've not seen before. Even Darkseid just kind of shows up, he stands there and says some evil stuff and then he goes away. Even at his most, he zaps Superman on the mountainside or whatever.
Oh yeah. But and there was some moments of tension like that where it's just oh shit, he goes to that cliffside to catch his breath, and Darkseid kind of jumps in and really fucks him up, and that's where he captures Superman for a good 3.5 minutes or whatever. Yeah. But sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
Oh no, I was just gonna wrap that up saying that I think that this episode is kind of one of those the idea they had was bigger than their abilities at the time or whatever. So they're just we have a battlefield in the middle of Metropolis, and there's hundreds of parademons and dozens of police officers and citizens running everywhere. And yet every shot is secluded to some street corner so that they only have to worry about 3 of the police officers, or let's go hide behind this statue of Lex Luthor and talk for a second. And you just hear sound effects in the background. You never actually see most of what the fuck is going on.
No, you see buildings in the background with windows blasted out or whatever, and that was the thing. It was oh wow, I wonder if they're gonna actively show the city being just no, it's 2 or 3 cops at a time.
Yeah, I think it was just what's that your eyes are hungrier than your stomach or something like that. That's kind of what it feels like to me, where I want to see more of the big bad shit going on, to where when Darkseid has them all cornered on the street, the citizens are all standing there in a huddled bunch with no faces, like you said. Yeah. That it's more
not
shit, what's going to happen?
A line.
Yeah, just they're in a big grid formation, military, they knew how to line up there. There should be more tension and more fear and stuff going on, but I'm just kind of watching another random Superman episode. To me, maybe this is blasphemous to say, but I've just never felt I knowing that Dan Turpin was going to die, obviously a very memorable thing from this episode. My heart was like pounding leading up to that scene because I wasn't sure. Like, it's just one of those like uncontrollable things of like, I know what's about to happen, Brian doesn't, kind of a thing. And I think you had like a legitimately like heartbreaking looking anyway reaction to Dan's death, because I watched you, like your face like dropped and you had like you said that's not who I wanted to die whenever and you and like there through the end of the episode was like pretty like solemn, like, oh shit, this is bad kind of thing.
Well, I think the thing for me is like it sucks that he died, especially because this was like the most heroic we've seen him. And I get that they're like setting him up. Like I probably should have caught that one. Yeah,
I was hoping you wouldn't, and because I was like, he's doing a lot of stuff in this episode.
He do everything. I would argue that he was doing a little more than Superman. Mm-hmm. And then his death isn't like poetic or like insightful or anything. It's just literally this like killed your dude, and then he goes away and Superman beats up a tank.
Well, I feel like the randomness of it for me is like what makes it as sad as it is because like you don't expect it to happen, and now Darkseid just left after doing that, and to him that means nothing. He was just some ant that he killed, but to Superman it's like some guy that he was friends with and that he's had a good run with and whatever. And
that is exactly my point, but in the opposite. Darkseid doesn't know who this guy is or that he matters. So why was that his grand outro?
I think that guy was just pissing him off. It's like he's been talking way too much, and I'm just going to get rid of this guy. Like he could tell he was Superman's buddy or whatever, so he just like, well, if I have to leave, I'm going to leave with a middle finger and then go away.
I mean, couldn't he have just like zapped the whole crowd?
That I feel like that would definitely be the whatever act of war.
Where's the differentiation? I don't know. I think to me, this episode falls so flat, and the thing to compare it to, and the things that, which isn't necessarily like, I'm not necessarily condoning that. I don't think that's like a great way to live, but you know, you can have a movie like Saving Private Ryan. Like that entrance scene like shows scale of war so well, and while it still oftentimes like focuses on one person, and it like cuts back to Tom Hanks, and then it like cuts to another person who's dying or living or just barely dying or whatever, and like, you know, there's like people in the background, and they just do such a good job of scaling like this monstrosity, this horrible thing happening. And this just felt like the Temu Saving Private Ryan, where they're just, and that's the thing, it's like, you're not seeing, like, you don't see anybody up close, but Dan.
Yeah.
Right. Like you see, like, it's always these weird above shots, which make the army guys look like very squat and wide. And like, there's like two of them shooting from an alleyway, and you're just like, okay, but like, why is it not these guys like shooting and then like turning to run down the alleyway and they get blasted or whatever? Like there's
you don't really see
no connection to anybody. There's just nameless faces, and there's 1,000 of these bad guys, and you see two of them killing each other at once, and it's just like, okay, and that's a lot of the episode. A lot of the episode.
I am mostly agreeing with that, in that it's like I'm saying, I don't think that they were quite ready to do an episode like this, but at the same time, if they didn't do an episode like this now, then they don't learn things for the future to make it better or whatever. It's hard to talk about, obviously, because you don't know what's the future. But
no, I can agree with the sentiment.
Yeah, there are episodes later that will do this same kind of thing much better. But I do agree though, because we're talking about like why is Steppenwolf like Grand Hunter of Apokolips, and he just shows up and does nothing, and then the parademons are sicked to kill everyone, but we see them kill nobody, and then the police have like a gun that shoots a big ball of energy or something. Like, where did that come from? And they just do that, and parademons scatter but not die, and like it feels like just an attempt to do a really big cool thing. I think that Dan Turpin's death being so random and unnecessary and pointless to Darkseid is what makes it so sad to me, is that like, oh, he didn't need to die. Like, he's just gone now and there's nothing anybody could do about it. Like, it was just all of a sudden. And Superman, unfortunately, I might ruin the scene for somebody, but the whole bit of him beating up the giant slug in anger, it cuts to there's a Friends episode where Ross has food in the fridge at work that people keep eating. And so he keeps like, he'll put his name on it. He'll do all this stuff to keep people from eating it, but then they keep eating it anyway. And he finally finds out that his boss has been eating his sandwiches, and he's in his boss's office and he sees like half of his sandwich or more in the trash can. So he just wasted it or whatever.
Yeah.
And he says something about like you ate my sandwich. And then it cuts to outside the building and you hear my sandwich. And then it cuts to the full city and my sandwich. And it does that exact same thing when Superman's punching the tank. And I always just expect to hear my sandwich. Sort of. And it's this like horribly emotional moment after Dan Turpin's been killed and he's murderer and he escapes. And then it's just my sandwich is all I can think of after that. But
you know what would have made this episode so much better? Editing. Okay.
Yeah.
Stick with me on the story beats on your desktop, not your computer, like your desk, on your desk, story beats on Post-it notes. Okay. You leave the ending. You take Dan Turpin being killed right to the fucking front of the episode.
Oh.
You have maybe you start with Superman's fucking stupid drill maneuver thing, which
it did take a while to get to that. I was kind of confused why the middle of the episode he finally does that. Like,
he just goes and does this thing, which again, like, we didn't need to see that. There's
not
so
nearly
much
that
filler.
long, at least.
No.
Yeah.
Okay, so you have Superman, like, everyone talking and being like, oh, how are we going to do this? And Superman's like, I got it. And he tips his hat. And then he goes and does that whole fucking stupid drill thing, cut it to a quarter of the length at the longest.
Yeah.
And then you come back to Darkseid appearing where the scientists are and like fucking smiting Dan Turpin. Or like Steppenwolf comes in and like throws his spear and just absolutely fucking like obliterates him. So it's like, this is the start of a war. And then all this shit happens and like Superman's furious anyways. He's a little more unhinged than he usually is. And so all of this is his reaction to it. And then
he's not fighting as well as he could because he's real mad and stuff.
Yeah, you know, and it's not just fucking so many shots of Superman being piled on by 1,000 guys, and then another
bit in the shoulder.
Yeah, piled on by guys and bit in the shoulder, and then he's in the sky and he gets piled on by guys and bit in the shoulder, and it's like, what the fuck is going on here? And
I'm sorry you're so mad at this episode.
No, it's been a while, and I feel like
it's an apocalypse now, man.
I don't know. It's. I think, just to wrap all my complaining up, I think it would have been better if you could have reoriented that rather than just having this, like, everything that seems like it should have mattered seemed out of place.
I think I agree with most of it, except for, like, I'm mixed on the reordering of when Dan dies, because on one hand, I do think that we haven't gotten a ton of him doing anything cool until this episode. Like, we had him... I think it was Tools of the Trade when Kanto comes, hello, here's all your guns from space. And it sounds more like what's his face from the show you showed me, and I keep sending you Instagrams of him, British comedian actor guy.
Oh, Matt Berry.
Yeah. Hello, my name is Steppenwolf. Anyway, but I think Dan.
I get you saying it's good to have him doing something in the episode.
Yeah, because then when he dies, if he died right at the start, it's like, oh, you mean the guy that's been in the background sometimes, kind of a thing. Like he's been
maybe
there
kill
enough,
him in the middle then.
Yeah, but also I think it still kind of should be Darkseid that does it, only to give him at least some kind of reason for us to dislike him or whatever. Because I think based on what we've been talking about so far with his appearances has been like, Why do I care? Why should I care? And I think an unfortunate part of the further away we get from 1998 is that there are so many other big, bad, evil guys in fiction that have either come to be or have finally been, like a Thanos or like a giant bad guy in a thing, Google in Vi-Reality, etc. That film everyone's seen. But stuff like that where it's like his entire character, at least so far, is like, I'm bad. I'm the big bad guy. And when he stands there and says like, your world will die and you'll all be my slaves and blah, blah, blah. It has like zero impact on me because I'm like, yeah, I've heard it before. Whereas like at the time of this recording, at the time of this episode,
8:06 p.m.
at the time of this airing of this episode, Saturday, February, Valentine's Day, 1998. Happy Valentine's Day. Dan Turpin's fucking dead. That I feel like that wasn't at least as a thing. I don't know. Maybe okay.
Maybe, but allow me to turn your words right back around on you. You were talking about as of last episode, he didn't really matter. He was this background guy. Yeah. And so now we see him kill, a very small percentage of these baddie clone sky dudes. Uh-huh. And now he matters?
Oh, I'm just comparing that to if he died at the start of the episode, he doesn't even have that. Like he just has.
But that's not that much.
Yeah. I mean,
like,
I still
Orion
get upset.
would have been a bigger tragedy if you think about it.
I guess so, but we've known him for one episode. I don't know. I feel like Dan Turpin was like the Bullock of this show, but not as charismatic or not as like likable. I don't know how to describe it really, but I feel like knowing it's coming and having seen these episodes dozens of times versus one time, it was more like, God damn it, it got me. Like I was tearing up a little bit at his funeral and that kind of stuff versus, maybe I'm sure that the first time I saw this episode, I didn't really give a shit about his death. Like it was like, who is this guy? I've barely seen the Superman cartoon, so why would I care about this guy?
I think that's fair. And also I do want to say that I'm not a complete heartless bastard. Pretty fucking right. Heartless.
No,
but
you've completely. Had Batman kneeling at his parents' grave, begging them for forgiveness.
Oh my God, that like this is what I'm talking about. Like the caliber and impact.
Yeah.
And the funeral was like, that scene was like really well done and it was solemn and we just had like a guy singing and then we had some very poorly animated background figures in the foreground walking away.
That was weird.
But like, otherwise, and like the shot with like the nice art with the trees and everything, like that was like, it was a well done segment. But like by the end of this episode, I was just like, I don't fucking care.
I think you cared enough when he died because I don't think you could hide that face. That was a face of like, what the fuck? No way kind of thing. Not in a shocked, surprised way. Like you had an actual like jaw drop, like, no, why, kind of thing.
It took away my turnip.
Yeah. I think mostly it was because during that last little bit of his existence where he's just going like, go home, you fucking assholes, and throwing shit at him, you were like, yeah, go turnip. And then he just gets killed. Like, oh, fuck. But the weirdest part about his death to me, and we'll talk about this a little bit in Trivs, or I guess maybe I didn't include it because I think it was just on my mind to talk about, but the only other time that we've seen Darkseid zap someone to death, or two times we've seen Darkseid zap someone to death with his eye zigzags before this. First was Bruno Mannheim in the Father's Day episode at the very start. He's like standing there going, oh, Darkseid, let me help you do a thing. And then he goes like, no, you go to the dungeon. And he zaps him with his eyes. And then he comes out in the dungeon with the guy with the big whip that's like, fuck you, you're a slave now.
Right.
And then the other time was he zaps Calabac at the end of Father's Day. And Calabac also just disappears, but he's back here. So like, neither of those guys died. They just like went to a dungeon or something. They just teleported.
That was my honest to God first impression was like, well, where'd he zap him to?
Yeah. But so the thing is like in this episode, they wanted to kill, if I'm remembering correctly, they wanted to kill Dan Turpin as like a big deal to like make, Darkseid, fuck this guy. Like now you got to hate Darkseid. But the only way to get it past the like broadcast standards and practices was to be like, no, look, every time he's done it before, they just get zapped to a different place. He won't actually be dead. We'll bring him back. But secretly they had no plans to ever bring him back. And that was him actually dying. So they were just like skirting by that in order to actually kill him. Like they couldn't literally kill him, but it is killing him.
Then how do they explain the funeral at the end then?
What do you mean?
If they're like, look, we bring people back all the time. And then suddenly
like
there's
the
a funeral?
Earthlings' perspective, he died. They would have no reason to believe he's not dead. Like he got burnt to a little flaming crisp on the ground. But
got it. I mean, he was just smoke. There wasn't even a crisp there.
Yeah.
There was no mark on the pavement.
Yeah. But yeah, let's talk about the cast and shit like that, okay?
Let's do it.
Because I got medium tribs here.
Okay.
Tim Daly as Superman / Clark Kent. He was not Clark Kent in this episode. Dana Delaney as Lois Lane. Michael Ironside as Darkseid. David Kaufman as Jimmy Olsen. Steve Sander as Orion. Joanna Cassidy as Maggie Sawyer. Joseph Bologna as Dan Turpin. Rest in peace.
Yeah, rest in peace.
Joseph Bologna, no more. Victor Brandt as Professor Hamilton. Lorraine Newman as Toby Galactica. Michael Dorn as Calabac. And then we have Sherman Howard as Steppenwolf. He was previously the preserver, Eggy Wrinkles, in the Main Man.
Eggy Wrinkles, my man.
He's back, and he's Robin Hood. Michael David Donovan as Male Anchor. Previously Male Anchor in Heavy Metal. Gunrunner number 3 in You Scratch My Back. And Male Announcer in Warrior Queen. And last is Joseph Gohl as Rabbi. This is his only DCAU acting credit. This is his only acting credit at all. He was just like a nearby rabbi in Los Angeles that they just hired to be in this episode to sing this song or whatever.
That's fucking cool.
Yeah.
That's real. He does a great job.
Yeah. Wilshire Boulevard in Los Angeles. Okay, Trivs.
Give me the trivs.
In the commentary, the writers compared Darkseid's attempt to tempt Superman into joining him to Lucifer tempting Jesus on the mountain from the Bible.
Wow, and their egos have never been bigger.
Yeah. Look, we were doing the biggest fucking thing right here. I did like
that's
the
some
music
like Donald Trump style, like self-congratulatory.
We have the best Bible references.
This is the most important thing that's happened in the world since Jesus and Lucifer had.
I'm really mad at this episode, bro.
Can you tell? Is it showing?
Yeah, a little bit. Police officers Giacoya, Royer, and Coletta you kind of heard Dan Turpin going like, specific name, come with me every once in a while.
Yeah, I was wondering about that.
Are all named after Jack Kirby's Inkers, as are the Ayers Island Nuclear Power Plant and Senate Air Base. So that was kind of cool. It's a weird like grouping of names to choose because they sound so out of like suddenly a weird name that I've never like would not Johnson. What are you looking them up?
I'm looking when Jack Kirby died. February 6th, 1994.
Yeah.
So this is, I'm sorry, this is
4 years later.
Like this was like almost the 4-year anniversary of his death.
Yeah.
Why fucking now?
Well, because they were making Superman now, I guess, and that's a big bunch of Jack Kirby stuff in this episode. I'll get to the funeral stuff in a second.
Okay.
In the scene where Professor Hamilton is typing on a computer in the lab, you asked this, he is typing in binary code.
Yeah.
Translated to English text, the code reads, "The quick brown fox jumps over 13 lazy dogs." I know, it's very stupid.
13?
I don't know why 13, but yeah, you were like, what does it say? And I'm like, I'll tell you, but you won't be impressed by it. It's still kind of fun, though, that it actually says something. When Superman crash lands into the fountain while fighting Steppenwolf, the adjacent ding wink sound effect building is reminiscent in design to the Hall of Justice, the base of the Justice League in Super Friends animated series. This S-Test building is even referred to in its production design drawings as the Hall of Justice. I don't know why. It's just kind of another, hey,
Jack
look,
Kirby.
Yeah.
4 years ago, he died.
I know. Yeah.
So we did the building.
Yeah. We did the building from Super Friends. Do you get it?
It's cool that I existed at the same time that Jack Kirby did. I didn't know that.
Yeah. For 10 years. Yeah.
At least.
10 years or 70. Take your pick.
To be fair, it was only like 9 years and 11 months.
Yeah. All right. To be fair. I hated this episode. I'm Brian.
Look, you better have hated this episode too. Or
I didn't hate it. I just didn't love it as much as most people do. When fighting parademons in the street, Dan Turpin and Jimmy Olsen take cover behind a large bust of Lex Luthor. A plaque on the statue, either accidentally or intentionally, features text presumably from the prop model sheet reading, "Luthor statue damaged, Warner Brothers Animation." I don't know if you caught that. I was expecting you to see that.
I did not.
It went by very quickly, but yeah.
Oh my fucking God. That's brilliant.
The years 1892 to 1968 can also be seen, which may or may not be an in-joke referencing Warner Brothers founder Jack Warner, who was born in 1892 and departed the company in 1969. So I'm not sure why they would have done that, but there it is.
Okay.
There's just numbers. I remembered there being text. This wasn't anywhere in the trivs of all the websites I pulled trivs from. So I was just like, oh, what did that thing say? And I was like, oh, cool. Warner Brothers Animation is just right there on the side. So I guess that exists in universe. I don't know.
Love it.
The addition of the new gods in the finale was a topic of back and forth discussion. That's when all the new Genesis guys come through and they're space blimps. Bruce Timm has
bringing back the blimps.
Yeah, blimps, red skies. Yeah. Bruce Timm has stated he had come up with the idea initially, but I rejected it myself because I thought it was too easy. Which I think for you were also thinking, oh, that's it? Because they're just like return and just start going away. Yeah.
Yep.
Ultimately, Rich Fogel and Alan Burnett saw their inclusion as a necessity. I guess it's nice to cap it with, hey, don't break this world or we'll break you, because otherwise, why wouldn't they just, what's going to stop the entire Apokolips army or whatever? But
the intelligence of this is on par with an 8th grade schoolroom
the Bible
fight or the Bible. I mean, Lucifer? It's kind of all the same.
Yeah. Brian's in a mood today, folks. It's probably because his computer keeps exploding in between cuts. It'll do it 3 more times before we're done.
I really hope you're wrong.
The final act's sudden appearance of the New Gods of New Genesis features several uncredited characters, such as Light Ray, Metron, the Black Racer, Mr. Miracle, Big Barda, and Forager. Those are all nonsense names. Well, you made a face when it stopped that pan. You were like, a guy.
One of those dudes looked like a Marvel character whose name I can't recall right now.
Was it the guy on skis?
It was the dude who's like, he was like, there was like a gold and green and red color to him.
Mr. Miracle. Yeah.
Fuck. I'm sorry. Can you press the one moment please thing again?
Oh.
One moment, please.
He's leaving. Brian's done with this episode. He's just gone. This is for the listener only because Brian never listens back to these. I'm so sorry that Brian hated this episode. It's kind of depressing, but I get what he's saying to an extent. I'm not lying when I say that it was a little bit less than great. Sorry, Dan Reba, if you're listening to this one. I still like the episode more than Brian. I still cry when Dan Turpin dies. Yes. Oh, you're looking. He's got his Marvel cards. What character do you think he was?
Vision.
Oh, Vision. Yeah, he does look a lot like Vision, doesn't he?
He sure does.
He's got like the pointy green and yellow face, green and reddish face. And yeah, those are very similar designs. Did Jack Kirby co-create Vision? I wouldn't be surprised.
One moment, please.
Creators.
Yeah, this doesn't say.
No. Roy Thomas and John Buscema.
Yeah, I see that name as well as something Klein.
Calvin. But yeah, there's a bunch of New Gods characters in the lineup. Bruce Timm has stated the episode's ending almost turned out differently. So maybe you would have liked this better. I don't know. Probably not. Turpin was still going to defy Darkseid at the end and say, you guys can't have this planet. We'd rather die first. At which point Darkseid was just going to go, I really want this planet. I don't want to destroy it. So you win. And everybody realized that was just too anticlimactic. How would you, I mean, if you killed Dan up top, like how would you have sticky note better ended the episode, Brian? Almighty Bible guy.
I mean,
knowledge of power.
I probably
power of knowledge.
I would have just had him like crawl out of a cave like 3 days later.
Something burning bush, part the Red Sea.
Dude with holding a couple of rocks that say stuff that he should and shouldn't do. I'd just do that. You know, I'm a pretty smart writer.
And then Darkseid would go, oh man, I didn't expect a burning bush. I'll leave now. Yeah.
No, he'd be.
I didn't expect to get gonorrhea while I was
here. Wow, that's some classy humor. Thanks for being here, listener.
Thank you so much.
Did I insult you? Did I insult everything you care about, listener?
I hope so, yeah. Bruce Timm stated there was, I mentioned this already, difficulty getting BS&P on board for Darkseid killing anyone. With DC, it was particularly about the choice of character. While discussing Darkseid's motives with Paul Dini, Bruce jumped ahead to the end of the story, suggesting Darkseid needed to kill someone who's very close to Superman out of pure spite, and landed on Ma and Pa Kent. When the idea was brought to DC Comics, they said, sure, you can kill them as long as you bring them back. In response, the crew cycled through other possibilities, almost landing on Emil Hamilton, but none of us really liked him anyway, so we figured if we killed him, it would be, oh, thank you, Darkseid.
I like Professor Hamilton?
Yeah.
I like him.
Yeah, I don't know why they don't like him. He was perfectly fine.
That fucking guy. Oh,
He's
God,
just doing nothing wrong.
Science. I mean,
fucking scientists.
Who is this
pieces
guy?
of shit.
Jesus Christ.
Writing the quick brown fox jumps over 13 lazy dogs.
Isn't it just the lazy dog?
Yeah, it is. I don't know why it's 13 in this, but yeah. It includes all the letters of the alphabet, listener. That's what the thing is. They settled on the idea of memorializing the recently deceased Jack Kirby, recently more than now, I guess, by having Darkseid kill Dan Turpin, who they had already visually based on the artist. Dan Turpin is Jewish, like his inspiration Jack Kirby, as confirmed during his funeral when a rabbi reads the Jewish morning prayer called the Kaddish to honor the deceased.
So they killed Jack Kirby and were feeling guilty. And they're like, oh, we got to make the thing.
Yeah.
Also, what do Jack Kirby's eyebrows look like?
They're pretty like that.
Are they?
Yeah.
One moment, please.
I mean,
they're big. They're not cartoon big, but they're pretty big. Pretty fluffy.
I see why if you were doing a caricature, you would accentuate them.
Yeah. Yeah, this is Jack Kirby went to the carnival and got his caricature done. And then they killed him. They murdered it.
The artist turns around the drawing and it's just a fucking tombstone.
It says Daniel Turpin for some reason. I don't understand. The production crew had anxiety regarding the potential recreation of Jack Kirby's of Jack Kirby's widow, Roz Kirby. It had been a couple of years after he died, so she might have been okay with it, said Bruce Timm. But at the same time, I certainly didn't want to cause her any more pain. I'm sure Jack's death was a really horrible thing for her. They were so close for so many years. Roz passed away shortly before this episode aired. So she didn't even get to see it.
I'm not even going to say that, actually.
Thank Darkseid. Thank the Bible. So I think you'll at least enjoy this, Triv. Okay. In the episode's original broadcast, Dan Turpin's funeral featured cameos. So the original broadcast is actually what we watched, because when they did the Blu-ray shit, they go back and just use like the first, because we've talked about this before, that's in the minds of the people remastering everything, they're like, use the very original shit. Even though Dan's complained multiple times about but we fixed stuff after that. There was stuff that was wrong and bad and we fixed it.
Well, they unfixed it.
Yeah, they unfixed it. Funeral featured cameos of several production members, comic book creatives, and numerous Jack Kirby creations, some of them characters from Marvel Comics. These characters and persons were initially removed with the scene and soundtrack re-edited for subsequent airings and its release on DVD, but ultimately restored when the show was remastered for HD, Blu-ray, and streaming. Production staff and so these are all the people that are at the funeral, like standing there in the pans. Production staff and other creatives include Paul Dini, Glenn Murakami, Dan Reba, Alex Ross, which you probably know the artist. He's like famous for his really realistic painting type drawings of superheroes. His father, Norman Ross, Alan Burnett, Mark Evanier, Bruce Timm, and Stan Lee. Stan Lee's in the crowd there. DC characters include Orion, Mr. Miracle, Big Barda, Kamandi, who was a Jack Kirby creation. It was like The Last Boy. It was like a post-apocalyptic future thing. And Goody Rickles, who is a Don Rickles character that Jack Kirby created. I think it literally is Don Rickles, but he's like an apocalypse bad guy of some kind. I've never read a single comic he's in. But, wow. Marvel characters include Nick Fury, the Fantastic Four, Reed Richards, Sue Storm, and Johnny Storm. So I guess the Thing doesn't get to be there. Steve Rogers, Captain America, and Tony Stark, Iron Man. So all those guys are just somewhere in the crowd there. Most of them made it to the show. Some of them are like just after that shot like fades into the next panning shot of people. So like the camera didn't get over far enough to see them, but there's storyboards that show everybody.
Wow, that's crazy.
So yeah. So it's like a really weird thing where they snuck in all these Marvel characters and real people into the funeral to be like, we're all attending Jack Kirby's funeral. And then immediately went, what are you talking about? They were never there. Here's this new version where it's just a bunch of random background characters. But then when they restored the episode for Blu-ray, all the Marvel guys are still there.
I mean,
is that Iron Man? What the fuck's going
on? I appreciate that the writers, you know, they of course, they respected Jack Kirby. You know, putting together a funeral like that and including all these characters that he created, like that's a beautiful sentiment. And I'm really glad that that's out there in the world. I'm sorry if you have a DVD, Jamie. I know you must have a DVD that has the wrong one on it. Yeah. I think that's a really cool. That's like the most meaningful thing in the episode.
Yeah.
Think about.
No,
it.
yeah.
Like,
it is kind of a weird thing to think about of why. I've never really thought of it this way before, but it seems strange to pay tribute to Jack Kirby by like having a character essentially be Jack Kirby, including like, come with me, my inkers of comics, let's go over here, or guys, and whatever, and then be in the Darkseid episode, like he created Darkseid, all this stuff. But then but Jack Kirby's dead, so we gotta kill this guy too. Like, what? I don't think you do. I mean, I think you could leave him alone. Like, if they want to kill somebody, I guess it's... So I'm sure that this was a very long, very detailed discussion to get to this point, and we're just kind of like blasting through it with, why? What the fuck are you doing? Kind of Seinfeld shit. But I don't quite get it. It's a little weird, you know. I don't know. The eyebrows, they couldn't handle him. It was too much.
I guess they could have put him in a celebrating crowd with all of his people.
Yeah.
You know, some winners of a road race or something, and he's like, Kirby in first and blah 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 in second.
Yeah,
blah, blah, blah,
pay tribute to some other way. Well, I guess this is the whole thing, is like taking you through this. If you didn't know he was supposed to be Jack Kirby, and you didn't know that Jack Kirby died. Because actually, my next trib is about how I was really surprised to see on the HBO Max thing that the Jack Kirby, what is it called, dedication, was there. Because the last time I watched this on streaming, it wasn't there. Like when they remastered the episode, there's just a black screen while the music plays. You know, on this it says like not the end, and then it says like in dedication to Jack Kirby, blah blah blah.
Yeah,
but it like wasn't also, there like, for a while.
Can we talk about the not the end?
Yeah, it was a little cheesy. Yeah.
Why? I mean, what did it say that exact same thing last episode?
No, it just said to be continued. Yeah. But not the end, I think, is just supposed to be like, his spirit lives on, or some kind of shit like that. It's Lucifer on the mountain. Look, well, I think it's cool that they did that, but But
yep.
I don't know.
You don't have to finish that sentence if you don't want to. I'm already an asshole enough for the listeners to hate.
Yeah, this is where people stop listening to the podcast. I think people will be surprised that you didn't like it that much. But I mean, I was already going to go into it with some kind of like, yeah, I mean, everybody really loves this episode, but it's never been my like favorite thing ever or whatever.
We had one of those somewhat recently. Do you remember what it was?
No.
Shit. Well, it's another one of those ones where like everybody loves it, and we're like, well, it's not really the fan. I mean, it's a fan favorite, but
I mean, usually they forgive us, the listener, but we'll see.
Maybe not this one.
Dan Turpin's death is marked in 3 Watch Mojo top 10 videos on YouTube. Number 10 in top 10 brutal over-the-top deaths in cartoon shows, which was won by a death in The Legend of Korra. I'm not going to say who it was because I don't want to spoil that for people. Number 6 in top 10 most unexpected deaths in animated shows, which was won by The Simpsons. Character who died.
I know.
Kind of get it? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
An honorable mention in top 10 darkest superhero cartoon moments ever, won by a DCAU movie we haven't gotten to yet.
I don't know if I agree with most of those. It was definitely unexpected.
Yes, that's true. We can give it to that one, yeah. When Dan Turpin fires a missile at a parademon, the ensuing explosion is reused footage from a scene in My Girl in which Mr. Elon blows a vat of hot lead off its support. And when Turpin throws a spear to free Superman, the collision emits a flash that is reused footage from the gas canister's explosion that Superman ignites in the way of all flesh.
This is my impressed face.
Everyone can see it, yeah. Okay, keen effects in this episode. You really hated the fucking animation for some reason.
The animation,
you kept going, the animation's so bad. I was like, what are you talking about?
I love that there's the timing. There was some really brilliant comedic timing between the two of us. For us, like man, because I was just watching it, and like, certain things like that one, like Superman's neck was too long and a little bit jiggly, and I'm like, what the fuck is going on? And that's when I opened my mouth and I was like, man, the art in this episode really, really sucks. And you said something like, oh, you think so, or I don't think so, or do you remember what you said?
Oh, it was, I said, oh, I think it looks pretty good. And the very next shot was Superman gets covered in electricity net, and he falls like too far. He falls like way too far into the distance for too long, and it's like
and
the background is just way off. Yeah, it's all sorts of weird. And I was like, well, not that shot, I guess.
Whatever. There was some good effects though, like the reused explosions and
yeah, of course, always the best. I think you and I have like opposing ideas of not ideas of what's good. That's not what I mean, but the ideas of like what's like
bad,
good animation versus just like solid anime. I'm trying to figure out what I mean by this, but
I think I follow what you're saying.
Like to me, good animation in these shows, I've said it millions of times, is like the characters are what their model sheet shows. Like the character is supposed to look like this. And then the animation says, okay, and does that.
Yeah.
But in the case of like TMS, where they just kind of animeize it a little bit, like I don't mind that because it also looks really good. But the Dong Yang ones tend to be like really stiff and just not like, I think I'm having a trouble telling what's Coco and what's Dong Yang anymore, because I thought I had it figured out. We're like, oh, Coco's the one I like. Dong Yang, because when it switches after commercial breaks, I'm always like, damn it, it's the bad one again or whatever. And the front third of this episode seemed to be the good one, which is where you were complaining about the bad shit.
Yeah.
And then the final 2/3 of the episode were the bad one, and you had no complaints about it. I mean, you were just ready for it at that point, I guess. Just whatever happens.
I don't know. It was just lots of like, it wasn't as bad as like, the character's face stays in one place as their head turns.
Yeah.
But like, it was just kind of sloppy or like jittery for like no reason. And
there's some moments where no matter what the animation company is, it's just like we're drawing on actual paper with actual paint and all this stuff. And like things are just going to fuck up sometimes.
Yeah. And that's
I think,
fair.
Yeah.
I do, to be fair as well.
Yeah.
You're right though. The end of the episode where like, we're talking about the weird squat police dudes.
Yeah.
And
you like scoffed at Darkseid because he's standing there doing the Nazi salute into the distance, and he's like, "Hear me, everybody!" And you're like, "Small bugs will fly out of my shoulders," because they're just like in the distance behind him, but the perspective. Yeah.
That whole scene. Yeah. If it shows Darkseid from a low perspective, there are the bug dudes coming out of his shoulders every single time, and it never has them coming from the corner of the screen. It only comes from right within his profile.
He also looks really flat from that angle. Like his legs just look like popsicle sticks in one of those shots. Like they're like very 2D looking. As far as we know, they might be. I don't know. But I think like. Whichever one it is between Coco and Dong Yang, I thought it was Coco because there is a movie a long time from now where the commentary has Bruce Timm talking about Coco doing a specific scene that I can tell is like, that's the same people drawing the good stuff that I like in the Coco Dong Yang stuff. And he calls it Coco on the commentary. And I'm going to assume that he's right about that. But then whenever I watched the Just Dong Yang BTAS episodes, it also looks like the thing that I think is good. So I don't know which of the two is right, but Superman's like cape animation is always very fluid in the one that I like. And his people's facial expressions are very like cartoony in a good way. Like they kind of stretch and squash in a good way more than the other one. I wish I knew which one it was, but I may never know.
I think you need to go on a pretty heavy investigative journalism.
I guess so.
Thing.
I mean, a couple episodes from now will be another fun animation company thing. No, unfortunately not.
And then I was going to pull up my shirt here. Boom, 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 boom.
That's exactly what's on the sheet music. I guess Keen Effects specifically, I kind of liked the electricity net when he rips out of it. It turns into like shreddy strings.
It was a little weird when he was doing it because I was like, well, this is just energy. And now he's treating it kind of like cloth.
Yeah, it kind of becomes like actual strings.
But it kind of became like little like ectoplasmic, if I may, when he rips it off. And I was like, okay, that's a cool effect. That was a little bit of... for me.
Yeah. Is that the same moment where he hits the pond thing and all the water drains into the hole that he smashes? But then in the next shot, all the water's gone, but the hole is like 6 inches deep and doesn't actually keep going. It's just like a small crater. It's like, where'd the water go, man? There was a whole like pool of water.
Having watched that, I am pretty convinced that pool was about like 3/8 of an inch deep.
Yeah.
Like it was really shallow. Otherwise, I don't know how it could have drained like that.
Yeah. I mean, like, it reminds me of that thing on campus that I think we've talked about where there's like the waterfalls and stuff. Oh, we're the football team. We get to study in this cool
the big glassy building.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's got like I think
it's got a moat, fucking billionaire.
The Hall of Justice from Super Friends. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't really know what else was Keen because anything that was like lasers or whatever in this wasn't really anything beyond just like a glowy beam. Like there wasn't like, oh man, that's a really cool new thing I've never seen. And then of course, Superman doing his swirlies through the water looked dumb as hell. Oh, that lasted way too fucking long. But
I mean, really, like we saw it once and I was like, oh. And then we saw him do it again, and I was like, "Oh!" And
why did he have to take a big breath the second time?
I saw him do it the third time, and I was like, "Oh!" And then by the time he was like the fourth time, I think he went down and then back up, and I was like, "Oh!" Yeah. And then the fifth and sixth time, he did another down and back up.
Yeah, it's like does it so many times and keeps showing us the cavern filling with water. I'm like, yeah, I know what's happening. I understand. I always get the sense that. When was it Christopher Carter on this one? Yes, on the music. Whenever I always get the sense that when he got the animation to write the music for it, he's like, what do I do here? Because listening to the music during that sequence, it's just kind of like building the whole time. And then as soon as Superman finally starts doing the one long shot where he's just going through the water, then the Superman theme song plays, like the full thing almost. And I was just like it goes through the bridge and everything. Like it's just like the entire
that must be a 4 or 5 minute scene, right?
Yeah,
like,
I just feel like he went
long.
like, I guess I'll just play the entire theme song. Like I don't know what else to do.
And then it like dun, 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 and it fades, and then ba 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 ba.
Bugs Bunny comes out from behind the volcano.
Oh no, I was thinking that it goes and it plays the full Superman theme song again.
Yeah. Oh, Superman, the little disc you had broke. Can I take a look and crush? Oh, never mind. I guess we're just going to say that doesn't work now.
I know. The thing for me, like, I get the... Okay. So that's not how that works, Jamie.
That's not the right button at all.
That's not how that works.
I haven't played it for a while. I got to play it.
We got to play it. So Superman uses X-ray vision to look at his little Orion puck, and there's like a circuit board in there, and the contacts, like the little copper bit, or brass or whatever, is broken. Mm-hmm. And Superman's like, this is thrashed. This is broken forever. If you soldered wire over those two broken contacts, just
tried for 5 seconds,
it would have worked.
Yeah.
Because that's all like a circuit board. A circuit board is nothing.
Technology from space. I don't know.
It looked like a circuit board.
Yeah, it did. And
all that is like saving you from having wires running everywhere. A circuit board is no different than like connecting wires from one point to another. It just does it in a more like 2-dimensional way that saves a lot of time and effort. So like Superman looked at that and he's like, well, I'm an electrical engineer. This thing's toast forever. And he crushes it. Like, give it to the scientist and say, is there anything we can do about this? The world is at stake.
Yeah. There's an upside down volcano going to the core that's going to make a bunch of too much volcano. And he's like, nah, I won't give this a chance.
Okay. The waves were almost lapping over that air quotes volcano in the ocean, by the way. Like a heavy wind would have put that out. It would have knocked some water in.
Yeah, I had like when the nuke goes off at the end of last episode, I thought I had a moment of going like, I don't remember how this gets resolved. Because if it was an actual nuclear explosion and it was, like a mile offshore, it looked like, it's like, oh, so Metropolis is toast. Like,
yes,
the entire thing is gone. Like before they're just standing there staring at it, going, action movie line. And I'm like, no, just fucking do something. But then at the next episode, this episode starts with them in a laboratory, presumably like 20 minutes later, just going like, well, this is a problem, isn't it? And I'm like, what happened between those moments? Like, Superman blew really hard at it. No, off screen.
Oh my god!
I guess Darkseid made the explosion go down hard. I don't know.
Is that
that's all the keen effects. Superman's powers.
Fucking doesn't matter. Move on.
He was jellyfished by the net. I don't think he really did anything new.
Yep.
How strong 1 through 10? He got his ass handed to him by Zigzag Eyes in one time. So
God, he like hit some people. He wasn't effective against some people.
Yeah, he got bit in the shoulder a lot. I'll give him a
whole lot.
I'll give him a 2 Jesuses. To the Bible.
I'm gonna give. Okay, I'm gonna give Superman 2 15 holes dug through. By the way, is that a solid rock shaft? How far is he under the ocean? What the fuck is going on? Out of 10.
Why was there a cave in the ocean? What's happening?
What was he boring down to? Like, we just have this, it looks like a floating caldera.
The center of the earth.
I don't care. I'm over it.
There's water in there now. Yeah. Remember in the movie The Core, when Superman goes a bunch of times? Where's
now.
Clayface?
He's all of the bug guys.
Yeah.
No,
sure
wait.
is,
He's the
caldera.
caldera. He's the caldera in the middle of the ocean.
The caldera. What the fuck is that?
Like the volcano rim.
Oh, or
the caldera. The under. Anyway, no, he's the disc that Darkseid. He's the disc that Darkseid flies in on. As soon as it like descends into the floor, the next shot it's gone again.
Yeah.
No, wait. He's Clapback or whatever. No, wait. He's the smoke from Dick Turpin's.
You just don't care.
No, I don't.
I did like how much you laughed at Darkseid floating in on his disc, because then his disc just like magnetizes into a disc hole, and you just went. and then the next shot he's stepped off of it, and it's just gone.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe it's just like a pile of like coins that like it just sinks into the floor.
He pushes one down through the top, another one pops out somewhere else. He's just got like 10 of them in there that rotate through. Yeah.
Wowzers.
He's bald, I'm bald, we're all bald. But who's the baddest bald of all? It's James and Brian's final call. The Balderarchy.
Dan Turpin was bald there for a second. Is that what you were thinking? God damn it. Yeah, no eyebrows at all. He wasn't a bad guy, though.
Oh, God. I just want to give it to Lex again, because fuck Darkseid.
Yeah, because
fuck
Darkseid. Yeah, Lex was in the episode. He just sat there and looked at his computer screen, presumably watching Darkseid. We didn't see Darkseid on his screen, so he's just like staring at a screen.
Fucking Teletubbies, man.
Yeah,
he's just sitting there deep in complex thought, looking at the Teletubbies happening.
Is the sun a baby? I wonder what that baby is now. And then like Darkseid's right outside his window. People of Earth, I'm gonna fucking kill you. And he's just like, yeah. I'm watching Teletubbies.
He's like, I'm really feeling that Tinky Winky. If that's the
Apokolips.
Pinky Winky? What's the? I can't.
Yeah,
remember
I know what you're saying. Willy Winky runs through town upstairs and downstairs in his nightgown. Apokolips Now Part 2 is Lex Luthor. I'll just put cuz fuck Darkseid. All right. Books. Oh, fuck. Hang on. There's a sound. I keep forgetting.
Books or hip hop?
Books. The Bible.
Modern Country.
Oh, yeah. All right. Where like it could be good, but it just wasn't. It had some strong moments, but they're fleeting. Yeah. And then Jack Kirby died at the end, like most modern country songs. You heard that new Beyonce country song where it's just like, this ain't Jack Kirby. Woo! He fucking dies.
You know what? I haven't, well, I don't like country. It's probably not for me. I also don't like pop. So this is like already kind of a bad combo. I am surprised the amount of people I've heard that have not had nice things to say about Beyonce's country album.
Why are you surprised by that?
Well, because just people are
you would think they would be like, oh my gosh, it's revolutionary, it's Beyonce.
Yeah, and people are just kind of like seeming pretty lukewarm about it. So I have not even delved into it a little bit.
I'll say it's a bop.
Is it a bop?
Boogie to it, but it's also very strange that she did that. It makes me feel like, and this will seem blasphemous to Beyonce, whatever the fan base is called. I'm sure they have a name.
Swifties.
Yeah, there you go. Bees. But not the bees.
Just quick cut to Oprah with the whole bees gif.
Yeah. Bees. But I feel like maybe this is like Beyonce's country song is like, oh, am I losing relevance? Do people not care about Beyonce anymore because everyone's Taylor Swift this and that and Billie Eilish and blah, blah, blah.
Oh, God.
It's just like, look, I did a country song. Isn't this neat? Do you remember me?
And then you cut to the meme of like, sure, grandma, with the whole like pushing the
right.
wheelchair.
Yes, Beyonce did a country song.
We're gonna get you back into your bed.
Yeah. Okay. Top 10. You say no.
Hell no.
It's not bottom. It can't go on bottom 10 because I'm not going to let you. But it's not going on my top 10 either.
Say it can't go on the bottom.
I do say that.
Yet, however, here we are.
No, he has to be unanimous.
No, God damn it.
Brian's typing it. No.
No, it's not that bad.
Dude, where's my Batmobile?
It's just not that good. And again,
it wasn't transphobic, so it can't go with Dude, where's my car?
Yeah, fair. Just having a moment. I don't want to. This is. I'm having a. Can you see the troubles I'm having right here, Jamie? I'm having a trouble.
This ain't Texas.
Thank you. You broke me from the spell. So now everybody scream! Or however
you add on to that. I'm a fire on my laser from last time or whatever. No, that was Dr. Octagonopus. Yeah.
Dr. Octagonopus. Blah. So, again, I am surprised. Last episode, I was ranting about the listener, like kind of spoilering about this episode, and now here I am ranting about how it's not an episode worth being excited about.
I think, and I couldn't say this last time because you hadn't seen this episode, but I think you said it very well. It's gonna be much better than I say it, but the whole thing about like putting your expectations to bed, like pretending you haven't seen the episode also, and remembering that Brian's never seen any of this and all that kind of stuff, because I tear up at Dan Turpin dying in the funeral, but because I know the next 6 years of this podcast, and I know why this is a big deal, like for the universe and all this kind of thing. And like, I know anything that you don't know.
That seems like a pretty big spoiler, Jamie.
I mean, I'm just saying that in a generalization kind of way, like not anything specific. I could say that about any Batman episode, or like even the one we just watched with the ventriloquist, where it's like, you don't know if that episode will have impact on the future, or if it just happened just now, the end.
Correct.
And so like, but everyone else,
I've seen very few instances of things impacting future episodes, and usually it's impacting part 2.
Right. Yeah. Well, like the continuity of this universe is finally starting to open up. Like things are, remember the guy, remember Hunchback from the other episode, remember, that kind of stuff. Whereas Batman barely had any of that. They were kind of all one-off, could happen whenever. Yeah. But yeah, just anyone listening, I feel like that there's a lot of like, here comes the thing.
Here comes the
and
thing.
That woo! This ain't Texas. But it's an expectation that you have based on you've seen everything.
Holy shit! Wait, is that from Beyonce's country?
It sure is. I just keep saying it. Yeah.
I've heard that in memes, and I had no.
That's the Beyonce country song. Yeah.
Huh. Yeah. Okay. I've heard that much of it.
Yeah. You've heard the first line of the chorus. Yeah. But yeah, just like, and in the future, pretend you haven't seen anything and don't give a shit. Like I said last time, react to the current episode we just watched to the end. Like, it's fine. But yeah, I'm also not going to put this on my top 10. My bottom is My Girl, where a vat of hot lead gets blown off its support. And I think I had more fun watching that episode, and I think it was a better episode. I'm sorry.
I mean, my bottom is Main Man Part 2, and like, I'm still loving the Lobo. So
Eggy Wrinkles versus Steppenwolf. It's pretty easy. Yeah. Of the Sherman Howard characters.
Fuck. All right. Well, what's next then, Jamie?
The next thing we do is we do the mail, but I'm going to tell you first, listener, that when we come back from that, I'll tell Brian the name of the next episode, and he has to guess what it's about. Okay?
It's literally the best part of the episode.
We should do some sort of drinking game for when, like, I can go get some alcohols. I don't know what your timeline is for the rest of the night, but I was thinking we could do like, the listener said like that they love this episode, it's their favorite thing ever, and then we take a drink. Is that something you want to do?
Yep.
Okay. I'm unaware. Okay, hang on.
Listener, quick aside, I am sorry. I hope I'm not upsetting you. I hope I'm not insulting. I know I'm insulting an episode that you love. But you know what? I'm sorry. Our lists are our own, and you can hate me. That's fine. Send hate mail to me on social media, and that's fine. I'll accept it. It's what it's the cost of being a yoppie dude. I just wait for Jamie. Where is he? I miss him so much. God, have I just gone over way over the edge here? Did I like actually upset anybody? I gotta have opinions about these episodes. You're now, listener, you're my therapist. So, I'm here to have opinions about episodes, and when I feel maybe not rightfully so, but there's this discourse in my brain, and I'm trying to process it, and then when doing the synopsis, I knew I didn't love this episode, and then getting hung up on the volcano thing just sent me over the edge.
I'll find out later while I'm editing.
I'm talking to my therapist, the listener.
Oh.
Are you ready?
Yeah, I've got about this much of whiskey in this cup.
Holy shit. I got about this much party in me.
Oh, Guinness. Dang.
Cheers, buddy.
Nah, cheers. Clink sound effect. It's that. Okay, here's the mail song.
Yeah. That yacht had one small extra yacht.
Now Brian's mad.
We dropped
What we drop?
our weekly yachts.
Oh yeah, those.
Into the comment box first. There sure was a lot.
Now Jamie's mad.
Too bad we're all.
At least I am.
Just Dylan Paula.
I'm really surprised you didn't do that in the middle of that.
I was thinking about it, but I was like, there's no good spot to do it.
We drop. Woo!
Yay! Alrighty. If you want to reach out to us like the fire hand at the end of World's Finest Part 3, you can send a punctuated email or a 60-second voice message to batwagonpod@gmail.com, or leave a comment on today's episode on the Podtower YouTube channel. But please don't spoil anything past this episode for Brian. What?
I just realized that I gotta get up and set up for the Olympic trials in the morning.
Oh my God. Why? What?
That's my big job tomorrow.
Oh, Olympic trials.
Yeah,
Are you Olympicing or are you AVing the Olympic trials?
I'm AVing the Olympic.
Okay, God. Well, that doesn't require as much fortitude.
Yeah, I'll be fine. I'm just Tuesday night drinking.
Well, you got a Guinness. I got a glass of whiskey.
I wish I had a glass. I could go get a whiskey.
Yeah. Anyway, this is from Keen Machine. Double Talk and Apokolips. Now, greetings, Jamboree and Brianosaurus. Keen Machine here. So Double Talk, I'm going to be honest, been a while since I've seen that one, but I remember liking it. The first time one of Batman's foes seems to genuinely reject their criminal path and find redemption. That seems worth celebrating. Also nice to hear from Joe, our Ra's al Ghul correspondent. Apokolips. Now, oh boy, here we go. For some reason, I thought this was the finale of S-TAS, but I now realize it's not. But are we sure we don't want to save this title for November? Just saying. Looking at the DCAU Airdate, that must be when we hit the S-TAS finale. I didn't know. Now we know. Looking at the DCAU Airdate viewing order sheet, kindly created by James, we've got a keen lineup for the next several weeks. Looking forward to it. Keep it keen as mustard, Keen Machine. Okay. That's a little jokey poo from the group chat we're in with him and Dylan Pollock, the secret one. Lanola Cola, tug on the super cape. I teared up from this episode. Okay, get the drink ready.
Yeah, I'm right here.
Yeah, I'm not going to beat around the bush. I did too. Apokolips Now Part 2 was amazing and a loving tribute to Jack Kirby. Do we drink now? How do we do this?
I think so.
Okay, yeah. This is straight whiskey. This is bad.
What kind of whiskey are you drinking?
I don't know. Whatever Joe brought over. Dan Turpin death devastating me on the day I watched both parts. Having Turpin be the one who rallies the citizens against Darkseid and his tyranny was an inspired choice given Kirby's service during World War II, and the last words of the episode will stay with me. Till we yap again. I guess maybe that's why Darkseid did a Hitler thing? I don't know. Mega Man, a segment I miss. I just caught up after having missed a few episodes, and I was thinking about a segment I miss. At the start of S-TAS, you had a segment detailing the origin issue of the new villain. Oh, yeah, I did do that, didn't I? I did that for Parasite or something. This was fun because as a comic fan, I always enjoy seeing people who are only familiar with adaptations learning about the source and seeing how similar and different they are. I also would have loved to, and hopefully still will, see Brian's reaction to the fact that Darkseid and many of these other characters made their debut in the series Superman's pal Jimmy Olsen. I think that might have been mentioned at some point, but yeah, there was like an offshoot Superman comic in the 70s called Superman's pal Jimmy Olsen that was like mostly a comedy comic title.
That sounds amazing.
It was every issue was like, Jimmy Olsen got turned into a Godzilla. He got turned into a fucking thing. He has superpowers this time. Mixture mix, yes, but like wants to fuck him. Just like all this random shit.
Also, Jimmy was like kicking ass in this episode. Just
he kind of was. He had his camera changed to a different camera at one point. I think it got bigger.
You can have two cameras.
You can have two cameras. That's right. What did you say? He said something, and you're like, people say that to me all the time.
When Dan was telling him to like basically get out of the trenches, I've had that as a photojournalist.
You're in the way.
That reaction with police and firemen, like when like running into like burning buildings or wildfire locations or like standoffs.
Brian, you're on fire.
Shooter.
Get out of here.
No, but just being like yelling at me to like basically get the fuck out of there and being like, it's my job.
Yeah. I mean, not in a life or death situation, but I've been in that with video stuff. And it's usually people that hire me to do video for something. And then they're like, don't film this. This is bad. And I'm like, please just let me do the thing. I will cut out bad stuff. Like I know what's bad. Jesus Christ. Mega Man, I will consider doing that again. I have... it's come to mind a few times, and then I think like, the villain is like either brand new to this animated series, like Livewire or Luminous or whatever, and I don't even have a comic thing to tell Brian, or it's like someone that the comic origin is essentially identical to how they show up in this show, so there's not much of a story. But yeah, Darkseid showing up in Superman's pal Jimmy Olsen for the first time is pretty funny. LexCorp cares. Hi, we here at LexCorp are neutral. The laser beam evaporation of David Turnip. we will always fondly remember Don Turtle and struggle to remember the time he, she, they probably interacted with Lex. As usual, you deserve one of the following death gifts. That prototype suit that drives people crazy. Metallification. $5 off at Bath & Body Works. Insert personalized message. Was this the cop with the eyebrows or the lesbian? Just let me know if it's the lesbian. They get $10 off during June. Just get back to me on that. We'll send over the other $5, okay? From all us here at LexCorp, we're uncaring in the face of your demise. Being slimy as fuck as always.
Do we know who this is?
I mean, I will put good faith in that it's all a joke.
I mean, yeah, no, it has to be. It's just so fucking funny.
I think in the Discord I said that like I was proud of how well they represent like the shittiness and sliminess of LexCorp.
Yeah.
And they're like, oh, I'm doing my best. Thank you. Because they all also keep the like in-universe character on the Discord usually.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
See, that's where I'm saying like when you have a character so well fleshed out, like you have to have a certain level of intelligence to like just keep on that. And I all know
Lex Luthor, smartest man.
LexCorp cares.
Representative, yeah. This is from Legacy Michael Allen, Yopton's log number 60. I don't think I have the chance to get to my microphone this week, so I'm sending over the script for this Yopton's log instead. Please just imagine there's poorly edited ocean sounds in the background and don't forget to breathe. Okay, so I guess I have to perform this one. I'll do my best Shatner, I guess. Yopton's log number 60. I have traveled a great distance over the last few days, though the recollection of my findings has become somewhat less well organized. The ship was carefully navigated through a more arid region, as an assortment of oddities were all around. I observed a green pool of that green juice, most commonly attributed to Ra's al Ghul. Rar al Ghul. Next to this pool was a wanted poster bearing the name Joe. A shirt flew right into my face, bearing a familiar bat signal. It seems more Batman is running around in the desert with no shirt now. Peculiar. I have heard rumblings of an incorporation of Freakazoid on my journey, though it is clearly far too early for me to know if this is substantiated by anything as of yet. It's not.
Whoops.
While I considered this, I heard the voice of Mark Aquino for the first time in the air. But then I was hit by a smoke bomb and lost complete track of the voice and the direction I was headed. As the smoke cleared, I opened my eyes to see a big fuck-off Zorbo's tower that I have no idea how I missed before, and some man in a straitjacket calling himself Zeus screaming at me on the coast. Insert voice clip of Kratos yelling Zeus. Oh, that's not good. Full sails up. I'm getting out of here. All right, cool. Thank you so much for that. Again, even though I'm reading it, I'm having to like, what is he referencing? Ooh.
Yep, same.
What is
I got a good 60% of those, though. I'm feeling okay.
I'll say that around there. Hex Lex, Apokolips. Now, again. Hello, Yoppie dudes. It's Lex again. No, not that Lex, I swear. Anyway, I'm finally... it was a likely story. I'm finally caught up to the podcast, and what an episode to catch up on. Though I will say that after listening to so many episodes at 2 times speed, hearing you talk at normal speed kind of makes you sound drunk or something. Yes, I bet. But this one is definitely a pretty big hit in the feels, with the overall homage to Jack Kirby from featuring his New Gods character so prominently to letting his alter ego Dick Turnip kick so much ass. It had been a while since I saw this, and I definitely remember now why so many people were looking forward to this. Does that count as a...
Might as well. Fuck it.
Yeah, all right. One of the things I've always found really... We're doing the Yopisode guide already.
Yeah.
Found really endearing about Superman is moments like the one where he smashes up the tank in anger at Turpin's death. It shows that his heroic acts aren't just out of obligation, but he really does care. I do wish Daly had sold the murderer line just a little bit better. Yeah, I agree. But it really bugged me how Superman just crushed the communicator over a fried circuit. Like, you know exactly what's wrong with it, and Hamilton's right next to you.
Yep. Thank you.
Thanks as always, and stay Yoppie, you crazy dudes. Lex, not that one. This is from Tip Tapricot. Wow, time for contemplations on Apokolips. Now, this episode was weird to me. The pacing felt a bit janky and rushed, or like the animation and movement wasn't able to live up to the fast-paced action that it was trying to get across. Some action scenes felt oddly proportioned with the city and its inhabitants, and a lot of Superman's expressions felt messy. I also think while Dan Turpin's death and the funeral after do hit hard, that it almost felt anticlimactic. Like it pushed through a lot of the stakes. Okay, maybe we're not good.
I love you, really Apricot. Thank you so much
ended really
for
quickly
this.
with that sudden death. We also don't get any explanation for how the New Gods knew to come help. I was going to say that before we went to mail. Was like, why do they know this is happening? Maybe they look through their binoculars across the planets and go, oh, Darkseid's not home right now. Where could he be here?
Dude, yeah. I don't know.
Though I think it's fried with the communicator was also a weird plot point. Did it look like Clark just used super strength too hard when booping it and broke it instantly to anyone else?
Yes.
Yeah, I'm glad that they threw in the like, oh, it was the waves of the nuke or something. But it was very like, weird. Either way, I do think we get some great voice acting in this episode, and we see how seriously the world is taking itself, as well as the continuation of previous plot threads, and the clear intent to draw them out more. It expands the world and stakes, and for a tribute episode, I think the ending is wonderful and very sweet. Until next time, where Metropolis's car insurance business is sure to have blown up, or, well, not literally, hopefully, or at least with no vat of lead explosion. Yeah, I like that sequence of them being like, what's happening today in this city? And then a parademon smashes into the windshield, and then it just shows a wide shot of like 5 other cars getting hit by parademons. And it's like, what do you have against cars, man? Like, Superman's throwing these guys into cars.
Mm-hmm.
What's going on?
He hates these cars.
Sure does. Look, you gotta go watch The Jerk.
Also,
you gotta go watch Princess Bride.
That one guy who like runs out of his car the moment before it gets flattened by that dude.
Oh yeah. Superman could have murdered that guy.
Let's just talk for a quick second. Jamie, you're in your sedan. You're driving down the road.
Cruising through the city. Yeah.
You don't have a perspective of things coming from above you.
Maybe he has the same car as Clark Kent where the top opens up. So he just had
it wasn't. That was a solid roof.
No. Maybe he saw the other parademons hit other cars, and he went, well, screw this, and just in case, and he manages to get out of his car before.
Nope. I got one more for you. The car most in view is Lois Lane's, I think, which only gets a broken windshield. Why would he flee that if it's not even enough to go through a windshield? He's just, wow, that sucks. Broken windshield, huh? Better stay in my car to be safe.
He has the same clairvoyance as Superman holding his hand out before Orion puts the thing in his hand. he just knew it was going to happen. Something, I have a feeling I should leave. From Super Beetle. Hello, Big Bus, says spoken softly.
Hey, oh my God.
This is the ASMR of us drinking. I'm just so excited for Apokolips Now Part 2, or White Nick Fury in my Christian Minecraft server. Oh yeah, okay. I guess White Nick Fury was in the funeral.
Are we putting that on a t-shirt or what?
I watched most of this show for the first time knowing Dan Turpin's fate, so I wonder how it feels to get invested in a side character before their untimely death. If that's a well-covered episode of the pod, then which Marvel cameo at the funeral is your favorite? Anyway, have a groovy week, and let's all pretend Jamie didn't reference a later spoiler in last week's pod. I didn't read it. He had a part 2 spoiler in the comment, and so I didn't read it last time. But I guess you'd have to go look back at the Marvel cameos but I told them to you also. I don't know. Stan Lee is cool because he just looks like Stan Lee.
I want to see
the Superman episode.
Again.
Banana Man says okay.
Wait,
must have meant last episode was
can we
okay.
drink to that?
Yeah, let's drink to Banana Man.
Cheers, Banana Man.
Cheers, Banana Man.
I like that you're like having to make the sound. Also, don't do that. That aerosolization is going to make it burn more. I was just going to
say, yeah, it did. M. Drew. Yo, B&D. I heard Brian sent up the old signal requesting the input of the oldest listener.
D?
What? I don't know. B&D. I'm Dames. I'm Jade's oldest listener. I have dragged my old bones off the recliner to respond as contractually required.
Thank you.
Back in the Bronze Age of comics, there was a brief explainer that Orion actually does have a broken up Uggo face like his papa, but his mommy box gives him an illusionary makeover because good guys pretty, bad guys ugly. Men only, of course.
Oh, yeah.
Interesting. I did know about that. I forgot to mention it. Yeah. He basically looks like Darkseid. He's got like a rocky, craggly face, but then he hides it to look like an elf man for some reason. Also, back in the pre-internet day when we actually just pronounced names according to the rules we learned in grade school, back when Nixon was president, we, or at least I, pronounced his name Darkseid, which actually was cooler when you think about it. Yop on, you crazy kids.
Yo,
I have heard that many times. Yeah.
I agree. That does. It's a little more. Why is that more menacing? I guess because it's like the root of evil.
Yeah, well, there's a story. I can't remember who told it to us. It might have been Dan Turpin. He's dead now, so I don't know. But a story told to us years ago. Maybe it was Alan Burnett. I can't remember. But about how there's some famous in the DC fandom story about how a guy like, pre-internet, pre any Darkseid appearance in like animation or anything where you would have heard his name, that some fan came up to Jack Kirby at a Comic-Con and was like, look, all my friends and I are arguing whether it's Darkseid or Darkseid, and I know it's Darkseid because like he's planting the seed of evil throughout the universe and blah, 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 and it'll spread and da-da-da-da, and I've got to be right. And Jack Kirby was just so like proud of this fan for being so into the lore and everything that he was just like, yes, you're right, even though he was not. Like he just told him that he was just like happy to give that guy a win or whatever, but it is Darkseid. So
really?
Yeah.
Okay.
So I don't know why Jack Kirby said that to that young man. But he did.
Attaboy, Jack.
Yeah. Doing the world a favor. Kyle Naranya sent from burner phone. Burner phone recording 1.
Brian, James, hello. I'm recording this from my burner phone in my hiding place. I have discovered that the Kyle in my place is from a parallel Earth. Multiverses are still popular, right? I'm not sure. I have no idea how long I've been gone. I absolutely love Apokolips Now, Part 2. It's a great episode with some real mythological allegories. devil and the Jesus on the mountain, similar to Superman and Darkseid. And there's some real tragedy with the passing away of Dan Turpin. Yes. I'm curious how that's going to affect Superman moving forward. My question for you guys is, what's the death of a fictional character that still affects you to this day? Oh, I've got to go. I've got to hide. Bye. I thought you were already hiding.
Yeah, hider. I think like the obvious 90s kid answer is Mufasa, Lion King, but at the same time, I never actually cared as a kid that he died. It wasn't until like 3 or 4 years ago when I watched it that I went like, oh shit, like that's his dad, man. And like now having a kid, it hits harder too. So it's like as a child I didn't care. So that doesn't stick with me. So I don't know. Dan Turpin.
No, come on. We need to think harder about this one. That's a really good question.
It is.
There's a spoiler that's arguably very hard and definitely like makes me tear up.
What?
I don't want to say for the people who haven't seen it.
In what? Who? What?
Are you cutting this out, Jamie?
I don't know. Depends on what you say.
I don't want no spoilers.
Okay.
I don't want no spoilers.
Woo!
What fictional characters have died? This is
you had an answer just now and you didn't want to say it. What?
Yeah, because it's too fucking good and it's a big deal.
Did he say like since childhood or just in general?
Oh, I think childhood. I think he said childhood.
If he did, then Tony Stank doesn't count, but that's definitely one near the top for me. I know it's very predictable, but it was a theater full of crying people that I was part of. So I don't know.
Wow. I feel like I have so many answers, but I'm drawing a lot of blanks.
Ed Asner, old man's wife at the start of Up.
Oh, my
that hits hard.
That one is super painful. Holy shit.
Yeah. There were some Game of Thrones deaths that hit pretty hard, but that's only a few years ago. And also another predictable, like, whatever thing.
Oh, my God.
What? Yeah.
There's an episode of The Twilight Zone.
Oh,
my God. I'm like going to get fucking choked up thinking about this.
Okay.
It's like this dude hunting or fishing or something for his family. And like he like drowns and dies, and his dog was there, and his dog like tries to save him, and he gets back to the house, and like no one can see him, and essentially he finds out that he's dead, and
he doesn't realize he's
So this dude's like, okay, I guess I'm gonna like continue on my way to like heaven or whatever, and he like gets to like the pearly gates, and they're like, oh yeah, come on in. And they're like, he's like, all right, cool, come on, dog. And they're like, oh no, sorry, like no pets allowed.
No.
And the dude is just like, sorry, man, that's not the heaven for me. And just like, bro, the amount of tears that came streaming, I was probably like full on bawling at that episode.
Yeah,
it's just
I mean, that also just makes me think of the Futurama dog.
Oh no!
Okay, so anyway, moving on.
Oh god!
Yeah, any
I'd put it out of
one,
my heart,
like dog one, yeah,
or out of my head, and now my heart is out of my body. Thank you, Kyle.
Yeah, thanks, Kyle. Whoever you really are. This is from True Score. Apokolips now, part 2, or Apokolips. Now, part 2. Hey, Jigel, and I'm never going to do a better name than Let's Go Brandon. We finally got to what is one of my favorite episodes of the DCAU.
Fuck.
We clink glasses. We clink. Personally, now, to be fair, these are not drinks to be, oh, you're stupid for thinking that. We just think that a lot of people will say that, and we're right so far.
It's self-flagellation.
Yes, because it's the first, except Tip Apricot. Congrats, Tip Apricot. It's the first time I remember as a kid actually crying watching something. It was that emotionally impactful for me when Dan died for some reason. And what makes it even better is that when this podcast episode releases on June 21st, it will be my 19th birthday. Happy birthday, bro. This episode's going to make you so mad. So sorry. I'll email you, say, don't listen to this today. Listen tomorrow. So I guess in the way
that now.
I'll forget to do that, and you just heard that. Here's what was said during the episode from people watching with him. I'm not going to lie, I've been kind of wanting to rewatch this with you. Oh, he looks interesting. I like his dark costume. All these other guys are bright and silly. Wait, his costume is green now. What the fuck? Oh, this is cool. The skies are freaking people out, but they just look like an average night in Gotham. This Steppenwolf guy can step on me anytime. Damn, bro, dived. Okay, why do I actually really like Superman and like what's happening right now? Why can't all of his episodes be like this? Bro's a fucking top right now. James Gunn better do this type of shit. The fuck was even the place on fire he was putting out?
Yep.
Oh shit, his suit. Darkseid crazy. Gay is back, baby. Let's go. When you said that she said something about a cowgirl and you made a face and you said, oh, reverse that cowgirl. This inspector guy is strong enough to bitch slap the demon thing.
Yeah.
This giant ship sounds like one motorcycle revving its engine on repeat. Superman is going to be crucified. No way. Darkseid's doing the Nazi salute. What the fuck? Oh, hey, Lex Luthor showed up after 12 episodes. The fuck does in a pig's eye mean? No one says that.
Yep, fair.
That's like not even a saying. Haha, Monkey Man just appeared. Damn, he beat him easy. Space blimp. Whoa. It really is just like Gotham. No inspector guy, what the hell? Yeah, dying. And Darkseid ran like a little bitch. Oh, I'm pissed. Sounds like you're getting into this show. Shut up, Brody. I'm allowed to like things. Jewish representation? Let's go. Damn, I'm sad as hell. Can we watch something happy now? Yeah, how about La La Land? Oh, yeah, that's the musical one, right? Yeah, you'll love it. It's super uplifting.
I love La La Land, and it doesn't have to have a happy ending. By the way,
that's true.
Twilight Zone episode The Hunt, season 3, episode 19. Go make
this
yourself
is like 1950 something?
62, I think it just said. I just closed it.
Anyway, I'll leave you with this. At the rate you are watching... Okay, so... True score, Brody here messaged me asking if it was okay to say this because he wanted to know if it was too spoilery. And after some consideration, I was like, yeah, go for it. He says, at the rate you guys are watching the DCAU, if my math is correct and depending on some other outcomes, you guys will be finished with the entirety of it between Friday, February 1st and Friday, September 13th of 2030. Until next time, guys, Brody. Sent on my fully equipped Dan Turpin grave with world's greatest hero written on it, Wi-Fi enabled. So there you go. I think it was last year we determined at some point that we had 7 years left of the podcast.
Yeah,
so
that sounds about right.
Lines up. Yeah. Welcome, Brian.
Thank you.
Ryan Hipp, Apokolips Sham. Wow. Didn't you do that last time? Oh, no, that was Kung Pao. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Steppenwolf was the thing I could have sworn was in part 1 last time. And I was just going to say that doing an STAS rewatch after the Justice League movie in 2021 was a bit of a rude awakening, having gotten so used to spiky fucker Steppenwolf, only to be reminded of Gangrene Gang Steppenwolf, like from Powerpuff Girls, complete with goofy hat accessory. Oh, and either 6'1" or 6'2". I can't ever get a straight answer. Okay. Pun intended, lol. So we're both taller than you. Neat. Apokolips Sham, here it is.
As I was saying, to go off of my 2-hour voice message for late Mr. Kent that Jamie and Brian were so kind to guest on, thank you again.
Yeah, you're welcome.
The relatability of this Superman and the ending of this episode, I always get a little bit emotional, like the rage, but also the sadness, I think. Very well done. I love it a lot.
I see where this is going.
My original plan for this voice message was to close it being like, oh, to honor Dan Turpin, let's do one more song, and since it's 1998, let's do Iris by Goo Goo Dolls. But I was going to change the last line to, I just want you to know Turpin's dead. But my voice isn't 100% today, and I don't want to do a whole bunch of editing, uncut jams, so if you guys will sing that one line with me, I will count us off, okay? You ready? 1, 2, 3. I just want you to know Turpin's dead.
Okay.
All right. Thank you, and thank you, Mr. Train. We'll catch you later.
I love the way you timed the train too. It's good.
Oh, fuck.
I just
amazing.
want you to know Turpin's dead. Eric LeBeau, Apokolips Now Part 2, or Barney Stinson's second favorite episode title to say. What's up, J-Word and B-Bird? I feel like anything I contribute to the conversation about this episode is just going to be more of the same stuff that other listeners will say. Yeah, one of the best episodes of the DCAU. I cry every time, but never mind that. Yeah, we got to... Yeah. Instead, I'm going to break the flow here and talk about when I showed my dad Mask of the Phantasm.
Yeah.
When Bruce and Andrea were making out and Alfred walked in and immediately walked away, my dad, in his best Alfred impression, said, "Oh, sorry, Master Wayne. I didn't realize you were getting laid." And something about the emphasis on that last word made it the funniest thing that man has ever said in my general vicinity.
Your dad
I'll also take this time to remind the listeners that to join the Patreon for as little as $1. Oh, yeah. Thank you.
Wow.
Come on, people. It's only $12 a year. Let's hit the goal so we can find out if Teen Titans will canon to the Batman. I just got hired for a new job that pays better than my new one, the old one. So I'll be upping my Patreon pledge soon. Oh, thank you.
That's
Mayhaps
sweet.
You can even expect some more Yoppie Bebs in the future.
Woo!
Until next time, keep calm and yop on. Eric LeBeau, favorite guy. Yeah. When we get to 200 we should plug Patreon ever in this, but
yeah.
When we get to 200 Patreon supporters, we'll do a Will It Canon episode that people have been requesting for years. And we're to 147 right now. 148.
So Jamie, give us your best 30-second pitch for Patreon for listeners who don't know that you have a Patreon.
Look. Okay, I got to time myself with the 30 seconds. Here it goes. Go. So patreon.com/DCAU Watchtower. It's a place where you can go and donate anywhere from $1,000 to $5,000 a month. You get to choose. Those are the tier amounts. And some of them are like, hey, you can see the videos that we put out days, sometimes weeks early. And then all the way up to you'll have your name in the thing. You can join us on monthly hangouts that are now quarterly. You can do all sorts of cool stuff. I'm not selling it well at all.
No. Wait, can I? Can I ask?
Yeah, you want to give it a shot? You get your 30 seconds. Ready? Go.
Let me ask you a question first.
Oh yeah.
Oh no. Do you want me to start?
What's the question?
Is the $5,000 a month thing the spaghetti dinner that we came up for Limelight
That's the
Visual?
Spaghetti dinner that we came up for Limelight Visual. Yeah. It's Brian's egg baby.
My egg baby?
Yeah, it's like your brain child, but also your nest egg. I combined both of those concepts in my head. But could you please, in 30 seconds, tell me about the Patreon? Ready, go.
Okay. So the $5,000 thing, which I'm going to say you can just do as a one-time, is where we/whoever come to your house and make you a spaghetti dinner.
Spaghetti.
We fly there, everything we take. We're going to your house to make spaghetti. So that's the other thing. The other thing is it's $1 a month. You can find $1 a month in change on the ground if you look hard enough. It would be really cool if y'all can just sign up and help Jamie reach his goal, because this man deserves it more than anybody I know.
Oh man, thanks, Brian.
Suck on that.
After
spaghetti dinner.
Woo! After we just ragged on Apokolips Now Part 2 for an hour and 10 minutes, and we just go, hey, give us money. Support us.
They're not mutually exclusive, okay?
That's true. That's true. This is from Z-Man12Bet. Jump on the Bat-Wagon. Now, awesome ep today, fellow Dank Jams and Hi Brianer. What a turning point in the cartoon. I was shocked when I watched part 2 today, as I'd never seen this before, as I didn't exist when this aired, and by the time I could watch cartoons, I was onto Justice League. But I think when watching both parts, they create a great narrative. Yes, the second part packs some oomph, but I like to take a story in its whole laid out plan. Sharing the similar journey like Brian is great, as I don't feel alone, and especially with this week with the passing of Comic Story. And there was a famous YouTuber in the comic space passed away a few days ago. Millions of subscribers. That was a big deal.
Damn.
I felt some happiness watching a superhero show and to be able to be in this great community. You guys rock and are always there to brighten my day. Quick, this emotional stuff is overloading. Yop! Thanks, man. And Bat. Yeah, I mean, the mushy stuff makes it hard for me to respond to, but I'm very thankful for all of you people as well. I've been drinking a little bit.
What do you mean, you people?
Oh, whoopsie. This is from Euphonium Star. Damage report for Apokolips Now Part 1. Government building wall and door, Maggie Sawyer's car, Maggie Sawyer, SCU truck, flying tank window, 2 building walls and a canopy roof, just about every window in Metropolis, Superman's nose and eardrums, sonic weapon, $20 million in cash, Orion's astro harness, but it's fine in the next scene, 2 fighter jets, airbase control tower, another fighter jet, airbase wall, 2 flying tanks, Ayers Island nuclear power plant, motorboat, Bruno Ugly Mannheim, Rip King.
Man, part 1 is so much better.
honestly, that I didn't remember the whole, and like someone described it last time as like I think it was Jordan Newman described it as like a Star Wars Death Star buildup kind of thing, like with the tension in the music and everything, and then the explosion being like in silence and whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was much more much more edge of your seat than anything in part 2. I'm sorry. Yeah. Peter Pantaloons, Apokolips. Nah.
Oh my God.
That's what it says is nah. At
Nah.
the end. I'm going to hit translate to English. Oh, it says now. It changed it to now. I wonder if that's on purpose. Scrudge, do you think Lobo has ever used Astroglider on his Space Hog? I think so.
Next comment. Because obviously,
okay.
where were you?
I'm sweating, man. Louisiana Purchase. That's been a while.
Yeah, it's been a long
Cataclysm. Then Halo 3, Jamie and Brian. It's me, Louisiana. I stopped listening to the Bat-Wagon because I got busy with work, then had brain poisoning for a long time. Don't worry about the brain thing. It's fine now.
What the fuck?
We're getting mild brain poisoning from this, but probably not as bad as what was going on with you.
I'm so sorry. I'm glad you're okay.
Yeah. I did a massive binge from like episode 90 to Apokolips Now. It's been super fun listening to the STAS episodes since I never watched much of this one as a kid.
Huh.
It's really cool to experience this with Brian and hear all the stuff everyone has to say about their own experiences. I have since watched all of STAS with my husband, and it actually made me want to watch more DC stuff with him, so we have a cool new bonding bro time thing. We're on Justice League right now, so we're ready to annoy you for years to come. Also, speaking of spoilers... Oh, okay, this is fine. My husband has never seen any movie ever, so a couple of years ago, I wanted it to show him The Prestige, a movie from 2006. He somehow got spoiled on the ending on Twitter. Who was talking about The Prestige on Twitter in 2022? So I definitely am with Jamie on hard no spoilers for anything stance. Yeah, someone had, we did a Keep Epilogue a Secret hashtag in a comment recently, and someone was like, it came out 19 years ago, and I had to go through the whole rigmarole with this person and just be like, God, shut the fuck. You guys are really great, and I've been watching Watchtower and, of course, listening to Bat-Wagon while I've been recovering from my neurological symptoms. Makes me feel welcomed and with friends, even if I was bedbound and only saw my cats and husband for weeks. I greatly appreciate the heart and soul you guys put into your content and the community you've helped bring together. Thanks, guys. I've taken enough of your time. Enjoy the show. Bye-bye. The sentimentality. Now.
No, I know.
I'm drinking.
That's the stuff. That's the stuff for me that, like, God, take our time. Like, no, like this is. The
We're gonna
stuff
lose all these people after this episode.
I know. I'm upset that like they're not going to hear these comments. But like,
look, when we walked away, I'll let you finish your thought. But Taylor Swift, Kanye West, something. When I went to get my drink in between when we did the pause that I cut out of this episode, I was thinking about how like. There's so many other things akin to this level of like, this is a big fucking deal. This is the saddest shit. This is a great episode, all that stuff. Mm-hmm. Whether one or all of those things in multiple episodes in the future of what we'll watch. And I'm actually like really interested to see whether you have like the correct response to that, or if you like, because I'm thinking of multiple of them in my head right now of like, oh, I'm going to cry at this. I'm going to be really mad at this. I'm going to, blah, 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 blah.
Yeah.
And I'm just going to be I'm going to be like bawling, and I'll turn over and you're just going to be like, Jamie, I fucking hated this episode. And I'm like, no.
I am the ruiner, and I ruin for all. Louisiana Purchase, I'm really, damn it, Jamie. I'm really glad you're okay, and I hope that the recovery is going well. All the best to you and your cats and your wonderful husband, who, props to him for you know, whatever. Watch movies, don't watch movies, like just live that. You got to be living a good life if you're not watching movies. So that's. And if you living a good life, if you're not watching The Prestige, no, that's a great movie. that kind of came out wrong. Like I feel like you're living life more if you're not just watching. But movies are. I don't know. Don't listen to me. Yeah. But I'm glad you're doing better. Thanks for being here.
Yes. Yeah. I wouldn't have known had you not said anything, obviously. So I'm glad you are here too.
We lose listeners when I go on tirades. So I guess.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah. Keep your politics out of my asshole. Zane Beatty. Guys, be gentle. It's Brian's first time. I'm still here. I still listen. Appreciated the conversation about watching things for the first time when everyone is already in the know. James, you inspired me to watch the Alien movies for the first time recently. Still hadn't seen them as a 24-year-old. Thumbs up. Very cool.
Did you listen to the movies to watch before you die?
Oh, yeah, you got to go do that.
Aliens.
With Dylan Pollock. And guess who's next? It's Dylan Pollock.
Oh, my God.
It says, from Dylan Pollock.
Thoughts of the week from Dylan Pollock on Apokolips? Now? Part 2? Or Earth, but with more burn holes? Wow, Steppenwolf is in this one. Oh, what a famous DC villain. Star of Justice League, the 2017 classic. How was this dude the villain for the first Justice League movie? Just saying. I noticed this time that parademons are like playing when you're a kid. It's all fun and games, then people start getting bit, and it's just time to stop. Also, I appreciate Superman uses his dreidel powers to the maximum ability in this episode. Dan Turpin might be superpowered because he punches out a parademon with one punch.
Yeah.
And I think that these 2 episodes back-to-back are probably the very best the show has to offer, at least if you grade them as a 2-parter, not as 2 separate episodes, because that would be dumb and crazy. Anyway, time for the question of the week. James' favorite part.
Yes.
What characters would you want at the funeral who aren't there? It could be anyone we've seen so far. Should Bruce Wayne be there? Commissioner Gordon? Harvey Bullock? You know, I figure there's a lot of the Gotham PD supporting their fellow Metropolis PD. I don't know.
There's only one right answer.
The one that I did a second.
Fucking
do I press it?
Lobo.
Oh, Lobo. Yeah. I'm here to fuck Dan Turpin. Shit.
The dude's singing and just a space hog comes cruising in from the right side.
Talk about Jewish representation with the dreidel powers. That I have no idea what my answer is to that, but it did remind me when you're talking about that shot of everyone, all the like background characters leaving the funeral and leaving just Superman standing there, and they're like really awkward and like drawn with such little detail that they're supposed to be like way farther away almost. Like it looks really strange. I've always seen Alfred and his girlfriend Maggie from that one episid as that like old couple walking away.
I could see that because
and I don't
they're
know,
blurry and they look like she'd be drawn.
Yeah.
What am I trying to say?
Drawn by worse animation studios.
Just put further into the background.
Yeah. No, but like the guy looks just like BTS Alfred, and there's like an old woman with big round glasses with him. So I'm just like, how is this not Alfred and Maggie? I don't know.
He's like, it's okay, Maggie. We're going to go to the whatever life sanctuary thing again.
Yeah, the Eternal Youth Spa.
Eternal Yop.
Okay, first we have Mark Aquino. Now I'm going to be very kind of reading through with my eyeballs as I go here.
That's generally what you do when you read, Jamie.
Whoopsie daisy.
Is Mark spoilering again?
I don't know. Okay. Well, I'm going to find out.
Okay.
Apocalypse Now, Part 2, or Shit Really Just Got Real, or Darkseid's Goons Are LARPers, or Long Live the King. Bizarro Mark and Scarface cry on each other's shoulders. Bizarro Mark, it not fair. Turpin was lovable curmudgeon. Why it not be an annoying character that Brian hate like the Penguin? Scarface, yeah, why couldn't it have been that ugly mutta that his birds pecked at my eyeballs once? Part 1, of course, was the build-up, and here we get a full-scale alien invasion that genuinely does keep you on the edge of your seat. This is an example of the DCAU team reducing Superman's strength, actually benefiting the story as it builds up the danger. It's almost non-stop action from beginning to end. Very well done, IMO. I think that counts. Take a dweeky.
All right.
It's all good. People who are used to seeing Steppenwolf's depictions in the DCEU are probably going to be really confused with its design here, since it's less alien mercenary and more like a Renaissance Fair employee. I'm rehashing this part from my so was Kanto when he had his like big like I don't know prince shoulders. Not Prince but Prince. Oh, the tragic sacrifice of Dan Turpin. I really liked that character, not just because he was modeled after Jack King Kirby, but because he was a well-meaning and selfless person. He put his life on the line many times throughout this story to protect the innocent. His immediate rejection of Darkseid was like the precursor to the first Spider-Man movie's famous "you mess with one of us, you mess with all of us" moment, if you really think about it. I like to imagine that when Orion and his forces left Earth at the end, he tells Superman that they will remember Dan Turpin's name and that he will be honored in the halls of New Genesis as a hero, as he certainly was. The world didn't need a Superman, just a brave one. The final scene of the episode really hits me in the feels every time I see it, but when it ends with the dedication to Jack Kirby's memory, my eyes become Niagara Falls. So yeah, you could say I really like these 2 episodes. And you're allowed to. That's fine.
Mm-hmm.
I like them. I just don't.
I really
love
like
them.
episode 1.
Yeah. Phantom Menace?
Yes.
Thoughts biggest bear hugs to the number 1 podcast host in this year multiverse of ours, Judicial Branch and both sides of the argument.
Not today, my friend.
That was this episode, yeah. Praise to our Lord and Savior, Dylan Pollock. Keep up the great work on your own podcast. Remember to tell Gab that she rules. Likewise, of course, to all his loyal disciples. Scarlo A1, Batgirl, Fangirl, Scotty Cameron, Wency 209, Tip Tapricot, Keen Machine, Jordan Newman, Zane Beatty, Chris Knife, Lanola Cola, Juan Pedro, Ashley Touch and Scrudge, the Banana Family, Austin Trousers, Slacks Payne, Ryan Hip, Peter Pantaloons, Nick Sorensen, and of course, all the Awesome Sauce listeners of this Yoppie community of ours. Y'all the absolute best. Don't you ever forget that. I was hoping that maybe if I said someone's name that was upset at you for not liking this episode, they'll feel better because I said their name out loud. Given how thematically heavy these past 2 weeks were, next week is going to be a case of major tonal whiplash. But then again, it's going to be one of us habba-da-dooba-da. You don't say these. Of course, I'm not mad, okay? I'm a little mad. So I'm curious to hear our beloved brother Bricky Poo's reaction to it. Otherwise, if you'll excuse me, I'll be lighting a few candles to pay respects to a fallen hero. Till next week's sad old whoosh, I just flew away. Look, Mark, I don't want you to be like, huh, what? I didn't, and upset and stuff, and like stop commenting, because I love reading your comments, and it's like, that's the final kinds, the last first. It's what I do every time. But don't, okay? The next episode, Brian, you ready?
Yes.
We got 2 episodes left until our next movie. The next episode is called Joker's Millions.
Okay. S-Tass.
Yeah, it's fucking Superman, right? Am I right? LOL.
Yeah.
What's it about?
Superman steals Bruce Wayne's money.
And he's such a joker for doing so, is that?
Yes. It's a like, funny thing because he doesn't need money. He doesn't eat.
What a stinker.
Or breathe.
Yeah, he does apparently. He takes deep breaths and then goes into the ocean.
Does he need to breathe? Have we discussed this?
Yeah, because on his powers we have weaknesses. Is it in power? Oh, it's in powers. It's oxycling, holding breath for a long time.
Okay.
From Two's a Crowd. He goes underwater to the ship in his scuba suit and blah, blah, blah.
Oh, yes.
Yes, I guess he does.
Okay. Joker, I mean, is this a Brewster's Millions rip?
Mm-hmm.
Fuck yeah. Well, then that.
Yeah. Joker get money. Don't know what to do. Yeah.
Okay.
That's right.
Sick. I love this idea.
You got it. Yes, thank you. Now, that's the end of the podcast where we go away, and we'll see you in the next week.
Or maybe not.
Or maybe we won't see you because you didn't like our reactions. Yeah.
Whoopsie.
I think they get it. And if they don't, leave.
Oh.
I'm just kidding. Please, patreon.com/DCAU Watchtower. Support our bullshit. Brian's finishing his drink. Because you got to be in the Olympics tomorrow or whatever you said.
Olympic drinking. That's what I'm fucking trying to make the Irish proud.
I am, for one, am not drinking the rest of the whiskey in this because I'm already plenty whiskeyed.
What?
I know. There's so much. There's like 3 shots left in this cup, and I'm not doing that.
Just baby bird it into Joe's mouth.
Joe isn't here right now. He's spending the night somewhere else tonight. He doesn't love me anymore.
What the fuck?
Anyway,
we should just sit here and finish our drinks and talk about did you go to Pride? Did you go to Pride? And when's Portland's
There wasn't
Pride?
any. There usually also is sort of a mini one here in smaller bus, but there hasn't. To my knowledge, it has not happened yet.
I've been so busy that I've missed every single Pride event that I know of. I'm sure I could probably find something, but like Alora's party coming up and everything. It's just like, God, I'm doing.
Goodbye, everybody.
You're going? I'm just going to sit here and talk to myself then.
Yiskadal v'yiskadash merabo be'olamo divrach Yeruseh v'yamlich malchuseh b'chayechon u'v'yomechon u'v'chaye dechol beis Yisrael bagala v'zman kari v'meru Amen.
Goodbye, old friend. In the end, the world didn't really need a Superman. Just a brave one.
Jump on the Bat-Wagon is hosted by the Watchtower Database. Subscribe to our YouTube channel for DC Animated Universe videos on a regular basis. This podcast is edited and produced by yours truly, James Strecker. Musical themes by Kimmy, Cooney Phoenix, Viltsu, Eric LeBeau, Jordan Blumen, my mother, and of course, my smooth co-host, Brian, Brother Broderick Meneely. To buy us a Yoppie beverage and hear your name read in a future episode, or to nab yourself a Yoppie Dude t-shirt, please visit the links in today's show notes. Thank you for supporting the show. You can hear more on today's DCAU episode by checking out our friends over on the DCAU Review and Tim Talk podcasts. Please leave us a 5-star review on your app of choice. You'll damn well hear it read on the show. If you'd like to reach out to us like the fire hand at the end of World's Finest Part 3, you can email batwagonpod@gmail.com or leave a comment on the Podtower. New episodes of Jump on the Bat-Wagon are released Fridays on all your favorite podcast feeds and watchtowerdatabase.com. And we'll see you next episode, same PP time, same poo-poo channel.